we've seen it previously from low ground finals is that this is going to be interesting to say the least. We've got our blue demo actually flying into the point here. Half HP, does not care whatsoever. Soldier takes the high ground immediately. And we are going to see the first casualty. It's going to be Tubase go down. Havoc goes down directly afterwards here. So they lose their medic on the red side. It looks like the red team now have to scramble to get back across the point here, but they're just holding back with their med. Every single blue player super weak, and arrow goes out to that scout to keep them alive, but it looks like they are going to be retreating out of this mid. Only slightly just to get re-healed.
The medic going down on the red side was just the defining factor of that mid. It allowed the blue team to get so aggressive. They're already halfway across the map by the time the medic goes down, and that allowed them to bully their superior health numbers forwards. They did have to back off towards the end, but they could just play their health, and now Zab is sitting with such a huge advantage here, 93% already. The red team, they're going to have to contest, but they've lost a player already. A lot of damage in the demo.
So Jab just sitting back there, no one's actually going on to him whatsoever, so this medic is unpressured entirely here. And all of that counter time that was got by Jenny and Oko has been completely reversed. It looks like Havoc in main as well. It looks like he nearly goes down here. The scout beats the last couple of shots, and it's actually going to get fragged himself here. Jenny picking up that kill, so one pick to his name right there. But Jab has Faluba still, so we're going to see what Shrex Gods wants to do.
Oh, but the demo kill is so big. TSD going down. It's going to shut down a lot of the aggression that can come out on product here. Usually what you would expect in a situation like this where you are down is you can just sack in with the forward spawns that you get. Not exactly forward spawn, but you get faster respawns if you don't have the point cap. You can see the sacks are coming into the blue team now. They want to get in on this medic. They get the force out. Looks like Bosi and Pop Donkey are going to go down. It is Light Diaz. Gets taken down, so they do manage to find the med. They found the force, but it's TSD again gets caught out. I think the most important thing here, it is a red medic. Does have 100%.
Yeah, also clearing up the stickies there on the right-hand side. They do get knocked away. Full Uber, like you mentioned, for Havoc, so going to be making their way out the right-hand side door. Is basically completely free. The soldier's actually jumping away defensively here, once to get away from the incoming damage. Vosi already taking that space, just noticing that the team are too far back here. Going to be making their way in. But yes, with the spoon onto Havoc, though, like Diaz, picking up that kill. Jenny runs in for the cleanup kill to her Avengers medic. Goes in for the demo as well, gets that frag. Going to be bombing in towards Dejan right now. Dejan super low. A lick of damage does find him, and he goes down. But it looks like the rest of the red team do indeed wipe as Havoc catches a spawner.
Yeah, Havoc gets taken down there by a massive spoon, and that allows the blue team, I mean the Russians, they can just surge forward and clean up the players. They lose their medic in return, but it's only a 20% advantage here for Havoc, which, like, honestly is not that big. You can see the are aggressing onto the point. You have to be really proactive here on product. If you want to get in, you have to take the space. You have to be willing to take the fights. But the Russians, I mean, it seems like the spam presence is really powerful here.
So they're walking across the point into the red demo. He is getting kind of weak here, does get back there, but Jenny relinking up with this medic as well. Is going to be in their core, is going to be solid, but it looks like Shubi is going in for a little bit of a bomb here. Skips around back around the point, but Jab is half HP right now, needs to be careful. Gets spammed behind the rock, looks like Jab super low in main, does go down to the post, but also Havoc gets fragged in return, so both medics down for both sides here, and the clock has gone in the favour of Garbage Crew quite significantly here, Wandum, as they have not managed to cap the point on the side of the Shrex Gods, as this fight is somehow still going. Like Diaz does frag himself against the ground, and Scout comes in for a clean up on Oko there as well. So not really a lot coming out of this fight, but on the re-entry, it looks like it's going to be the first capture for Shrex Gods.
Yep, you can see the aggression comes out of the demo immediately. They just find Havoc once again. Such nice aggression. Now the soldiers come back in. They manage to find the kill on Stab, and there we go. Shrex, they clean it up on the Russians. There's only Light D is alive here, and I don't really think he should be able to do much. It's two scouts just sitting on the point. And it looks like, I'm gonna be honest, it's a little bit bad timing because most of the blue team is dead, but Garbage Crew, honestly, just winning out of most of these fights here. You can see the aggression comes out. Maybe, honestly, Shrex feels like they're just playing a little bit scared.
Yeah, they're not really going in for these force attempts on the sack attempts onto the med or getting aggressive here, and they're just being bombed by the side of the Garbage Crew, who are actually standing on the point while this fight is taking place on the cliff, so just getting that space. And they're going to have slightly better spawners, but it looks like they are not going to wait. Oh, no, they do. They know. They're going to hold on for the time being, get that one spawner through on the demo. Also get Bob Donkey down, so he dies, and they do manage to get a kill into the sky as Jenny runs in across the point here, really bringing it to the enemy team, and this demo gets punched as well in main, and they are going to not get the capture on the side of Shrex Gods just yet. Okay, there it goes.
Just waiting for the soldiers here, getting the faster respawn on them. As now, I mean, look at the aggression here out of it. Oh, it's just so much work, and the follow-up bomb is beautiful. Gets the kill onto Havoc, and now, I mean, if you are Shrex, You have to go in. You have to get aggressive here. Soldier's bombing in.
Ooh, Versi gets the med as well there. Jab going down. Looks like they can get some cleanup here. Good damage out. Jenny is very weak though. Does go to main to find the kill. He wanted it badly and found it, so they are going to have that pick onto Light Diaz. It's not going to be much though. Vosi is going to respawn in 1 second. Still one player ad on the respawners here for the blue side, so they're going to make their way in towards the point already. Chubias just eating a ton of damage on the side of this point here, needing a lot of healing comes from his medic, but Havoc currently on this low ground in a very poor position is meaning he's eating a lot of spam and is unable to provide as much support as you would like to see from a medical product.
So now again, spam is exchanged, but you can see Garbage Crew, they just have the superior position. It's a pipe kill onto Jenny, and this demo man is just doing so much work for Garbage Crew. So now with Vosi going down as well, Scout taken care of, there's just no real red presence anymore. It's just a demo man against the world. The bomb comes in, doesn't do that much. The demo is dead, and now Havoc is down as well. The Russians, they just take position, they take the round.
It's got to be said, the Russians are sticking it to the true Russian fashion of how they play the game. They are playing super aggressive all of the time. And that's what you see across the board for all Russian teams. They just go in for the deathmatch fights a lot. And they will just push and push and push until you break. And that's exactly what we saw in this first round. They take it away quite cleanly.
Yeah, really good stuff out of them. They just advanced position onto the point. You can see again, there's so much spam coming out of that demo. And now there's a lot of early damage onto Havoc. They are on the point here. There we go. Shrex God's finally getting aggressive with an arrow kill onto the medic. He ends up getting taken down for it. Doesn't matter. Everyone else on blue is slowly falling. It's just 2 soldiers left alive. One of them is 14 HP. The other one has to walk back to spawn. Mostly taken down. Scouts are capping up. Everyone on the red side spawns. And Havoc has to be worried here. Hold on.
Okay, so QBS is going down there, but you can tell he was just following the game plan, which was we're going across this point on this mid, we're being aggressive, we're taking the fight to them. That's exactly what they did, but Havoc ended up going down by being the furthest one across the point, so interesting mid-fight to say the least. But Ubazar even, Oko overextends. They have the point captured, they don't need to be aggressive here, but they are in anyway, and they don't manage to survive all of the damage that comes flying in. Now they're on worse respawners here, but they do find Jab, so that is one frag here, but Havoc previously before hasn't had a very successful time of surviving in these situations. Soldier is in, going for the bomb, nice little rocket, unfortunately whips the second one, drops down to the low ground. Havoc has been caught on the low ground and goes down here. So looks like blue team now in a favourable position.
Really nice collapse there. The soldier going in behind, finding that kill onto the medic. Didn't actually kill him himself, but the shooting him up into cliff and positioning him really poorly compared to the rest of his team was enough. There was only 3 players on that point. The Russians played around it really well, so now got themselves a nice bit of an advantage here. You can see Shrex Squads, they're playing around cliff here. They don't really have that much positions yet. You can see Garbage Crew, they're just sitting around, they're waiting. They can let the enemy team come into them.
Whoa, the spoon again from Light Diaz, picking up Havoc there. So the red team needs to get their butts in gear and go for some kind of sack wave, but it looks like Jab's already aware and is all the way back by his cliff. Hits a nice surf, but unfortunately he goes down right at the end, and the capture time is coming in. For the side of Shrex Gods, they shouldn't finish this, and they don't. They're playing it very well so far with the captures, but great pick onto Jab right at the end.
Yeah, the cleanup there is so good. The soldier bomb as well onto the medic, so nice. I mean, honestly, maybe it's just a little bit of lacking scout presence there for Shrex Gods. It is a soldier very high up into the air. I mean, honestly, market gardeners are very telegraphed. Can be responded to if you notice it in time, but the Russians, I mean, again, aggression's unrelenting. Once again, now they're coming back in.
So they want to take this fight straight to them here. They get the cap down, which is great. A bunch of red health on the blue team currently. The rest of them are just getting healed up, getting ready for their re-offensive here. Jab only at 50%, but Havoc also at 60% here. Jab eats a massive amount of damage there early on. Once again, they're in the trench here. The positioning is awful from the side of the red team. They're just getting absolutely bodied on the ground there, so it's just taking it all to the face. But the scout class is scout classing on the point right now. We've got a 1v1. It's Jenny versus Aloe here on the point. The soldier's coming in from the side just to make it a 2v1, but Jenny, he wins it out anyway, just shoots him and takes him down. The soldier has come to rejoin the fight from the red side here, and the Uber has come out from Jab, and the Uber in response here from the red team as well. And this point takes down Aloe after the fact. It looks like they are going to be chasing with this Uber into main. The call has been made onto Jab. Doesn't beat the shots this time. Jenny is going to find that frag as well and go down for his troubles.
Jenny Death is styling on the blue team now. Finally wakes up. And this is why, I mean, we did say Jenny has played in Hype before. It is such an extreme advantage to have a really good scout on product. 2 of them especially. They're so powerful. Now the Russian aggression comes in. The Demo Man gets completely shut down. It's a really nice surf by Havoc. Unfortunately, it just goes the wrong way. And now you can see the aggression from the Russians is coming in. They're finding the key pickups onto the Demo Man, onto the Medic, and it's allowing them, despite their low health bars, they're taking the point now. And there's not much of a fight that really can be brought. Unless Jenny just kills all of them.
And Jenny just runs in and gets that frag quite quickly, and they don't wait for him to spawn either, so he's going to be on a long respawn here. They get the Oko respawn as well, so they can go back in here. They don't exactly have to sack for jab. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be counting these Ubers properly. I have no idea how it goes in low. But they're going to be making their way into the point here. Heals have come out, so it looks like they just want to take this fight, but Bob's going to be going in for a bit of a bomb here. It kind of just surfs all the way back around again, and they're just going to be pressuring this capture here. And the rest of the blue team are just Delta split away from the point. They don't want anything to do with this. They've actually left their demo to die across the point as the recapture comes in. Jab is up to 90% here, so the repush is likely to come in with the Uber, but losing your demo at the same time is really bad. Looks like a bomb from TBS goes in. He misses a couple rockets there. Does land the last one, but not for good damage. And this double scout Uber comes in. But once again, it's kind of a bit scuffed. They do find the demo, and they're going back in here on the side of oh, okay. That's not so good. But it looks like Havoc are going in with the Uber right now as they just find that Uber. But the rest of the team currently dead. So it's just a solo Uber currently on Oko. He is finding some kills here, but the rebombs are coming in from the blue team here. And he's getting flanked from the side. The capture time is going down. The kill for that scout as well. And it looks like the fight is coming to a close finally.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't really like that repush that the Russians came out with. Losing your demo man like that is fine. You could just wait for the demo to come up, because you could just wait, and then the soldier as well came in with the sack. Really didn't have to do that. Now you can see Jab actually gets caught out.
Whoa. Jab?
Second.
Looks like the demo man getting super low as well. They're trying to play the edge at this point here. Failing with a punch coming from TSD. He just stops them in their tracks there. It's going to be 1-1. We have a game on our hands.
Yeah, very nice round out of Shrex God, really bringing it back. It feels like finally found a little bit more of an answer to that Russian aggression we did see earlier. Playing it a lot better. Jenny Death really coming alive there, honestly. Did a lot of work keeping his team in it. So now, this time around, a lot of damage early on onto the demo man here, but the double soldier bombs are coming in.
Okay, Havoc's got it down now. He knows what he needs to do. He's just rotating across the mid when that happens. Nice little error from him as well. Havoc just feeling himself here. Looks like they do manage to find both the soldiers in the backline. Demo gets boots as well. He's pushed all the way back. Bosi overextends for the frag on the demo. Unfortunately, he doesn't quite find it here. It's now in a situation where Havoc actually receives a pipe here and needs to retreat, and the blue team have secured this first mid.
Yeah, they get the mid, but look at the player advantage. Because they spend so long, I mean, Lightdius is going to be up for this. But the positional advantage, honestly, right now is for Shrex Gods. They can sit around, they can spam out. So a lot of damage onto the Russians. There we go, the soldier bombs are coming in now. It's not really that much work, but there should be some kills to be found, honestly. Fight goes on the flank. They get the force footage. Jenny, Death, and Bosi both get taken down. The Uber's traded out here, but I'm not really sure if anything else will come of this. Honestly, there's not that much presence here for Shrex Gods, as they've lost 3 players already, and now the soldier bomb is coming in, does damage to the medic. Mr. Havoc should be going down here. The rest of his team is falling around him.
Great movement from Havoc here. Havoc's still alive. He's still alive. He's holding it together. Great movement, but unfortunately Jenny goes down, and Bosi here still somehow surviving here. Havoc just in behind, goes in, and dies, unfortunately. I thought he was going to whip out a sword and get a couple swords in, but Oko finding the kill onto Jab as well. Also the demo on 5 HP, killed by a splash rocket there coming from main, and Alo's going to go in and dies to TSD. Bob Donkey cleaned up, and that Russian player named, I don't know what that is, Crooked, maybe? He dies too. The capture's going to go the other way now.
Do you think the Russian players go to culinary school? Because that was some prime A 5-star Michelin star feed I saw out of them. Oh my god. They just wanted that kill so bad. They were going across, but they came in one by one, and it just allowed Shrex Club to get a lot of 1v1s, which is so much easier to win than if you all go in at once. But the sniper...
They've pulled out the sniper. They've changed the pace of this game with that one pick onto the medic here. Alo, he's going to be going in, but gets absolutely bodied by the rest of the players here. But it looks like Chad managed to get a nice step back as well. The sniper is still at large, and he's just going to be pinging off shots now. And there's nothing that these remaining players will be able to do about this sniper. It looks like Jenny going to be escaping back out the flank here, receiving a health pack, and they're going to try and regroup on the side of the red team. The cap does go the other way as well.
Yeah, they get the cap, but they also have such a big advantage here. 60% and the headshots coming out. I mean, honestly, with this pressure that the sniper exudes, he doesn't really have to hit that many more shots. The warning shots are enough. A kill onto Jenny as well. It's just going to stave away the aggression. You know the red team wants to go in for an Uber Force here, but it's so hard because the spam coming out onto Cliff is absolutely insane. Look at Havoc. He can't even go forwards.
Yeah, he doesn't want to peek this angle either, and they are just managed to get so much damage down already. And, I mean, they're putting their sniper out in the open for a reason. They want them to be scared of the presence that it provides, and they are actually going to use this Uber aggressively here. But Havoc can escape out of Cliff. Looks like he is only just slipping away here. Aloe is currently on the chase, trying to find the kill, but Havoc is safely back out to spawn with his 70% Uber charge in tow. 50 seconds remaining on the clock as well, so I feel like that was a bit of a weird Uber, because now they're just going to retreat back to the point.
Yeah, they just walk back to the point, but they're staring down the barrel of a massive Uber descent. You can see Shrex, they want to fight this. It's a demo bomb in. Oh, find a scout kill. So now Light DS goes down as well. Single soldier stack tries to salvage it, but doesn't get it. Now there's ever a time for Shrex goals to push.
Now is the time. They're going to the point here. They've got a 2-minute time disparity now. The Russians have done a great job so far of just keeping this point, but let's see if Shrex Gods can just formulate a hold here and just hold this point. They don't need to get aggressive. They have the point already. Jab actually is going to be able to get his Uber eventually here, so I feel like just remaining in the passive state that they were in before will do them just service. And looks like they are going to be sticking with the sniper on the side of the Russian team as well, so that pressure is still going to be remaining. He's just peeking that doorway. And looks like he gets the headshot to Bob Donkey. He craters. They're taking this Uber really aggressively though. Jab is actually on the cliff right now. Pops off his own Uber. And the Ubers are absolutely everywhere right now for both teams. But that sniper currently does get taken down. So that pressure has been slightly relieved. Great deny from Oko there onto that soldier that was bombing in. The demo goes in as well. So kill from Light Dia. He finds the kill to Havoc. The repush comes in from the Russians. And they're going to be able to start cleaning up these remaining players here on this point, but it's just the medic and the demo left alive. Looks like he has respawned currently on the scout as well as a sniper this time around. He's going to find the rest of these kills, but Jenny is in. He's going on top of this medic and demo combo, but gets taken down once again by Kricken, so he's going to be cleaning up the rest of this fight.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Russians there, they just didn't have the position. Soldier goes in, tries to get on, but his team is just not quite there with him. So he just ended up getting completely denied by Oko. The bomb, the Market Gardener out of Light Diaz was nice. Definitely salvaged a little bit, but honestly, had he just had the rockets, could have done so much more damage. Now
he needs to get on the point here, otherwise it's going to go the other way. The Uber just gets popped out here, so it doesn't matter either way. They're not going to be able to get to this point here. It's going to be 2-1. The Russians getting another round on the board. They're on match point. If they take this, then they're going to be 1 round up in this grand final already, Wandum. I mean, it's just a lot of deathmatch coming from the Russian team. They just are relying heavily on their DM abilities to just clean up these players.
Yeah, the demo especially is putting in so much work, dealing a lot of damage. He's just there. As you can see, he's so much faster as well. So aggressive, and finally gets punished there by Jenny. That's a massive sort of chink out in the armor. There we go. Denial as well. Really nice rockets onto Chubats. And there we go. Shrex Gods, they're finally following up. This middle is something else. The Russians just have no answer.
Bob just spanked them on that mid there, just landing all of the rockets they needed to land. So they are going to get this, and they're going to go for some kind of forward hold here as well. Jab Zone just respawned, so he's at 40% Uber currently. Havoc's about to find his Uber, but they've not really got any form of cliff hold. Looks like they're getting a pyro up on this right-hand side. Firing rockets into the pyro, a little bit questionable here. The demo has actually walked in and is gonna die. And they actually killed Kricken as well, so gonna be able to hold for an extended period of time here. This should knock a full minute off the clock here, Wan.
Yeah, losing your demo man like that's honestly not the worst. Again, they don't have a middle cap. They don't have the point cap, so the respawns is going to be a little bit slower. See, now they're coming forwards with the pyro here. Is the accepted standard counter, but it's still just a lot of damage. You see how healthy for Bob Donkey. This is getting taken down. They lose a scout and a soldier, and suddenly this forward hold seems far from ideal here. Yes, you want to hold it aggressively. You get so much time, but you have to keep your players alive for when they come back in afterwards. The Uber comes out, but it's a trade.
It's a very awkward trade as well at that. And looks like they're going to be bombing in onto Cliff, taking that high ground as well. And looks like they're going to be going in after the Uber as well. Does receive a punt to the rear, but Chubase here is on the flank as well. So looks like he's going to be trying to flank around. The 1 minute did go through there, and it looks like Jenny getting cleaned up as well. There's so much positional advantage for the Russians here. Bob Donkey going to be bombing all the way back after picking up Light Diaz. Looks like they're going to be trying to regress this point, but Havoc just gets piped down at range. This Russian demo is doing absolute bits, right?
Yeah, it does so much. Look at the health bars. They're so low on the Shrex gods. But they're still trying to go forwards here. But you can see the Russians, they're just sitting back. They're so relaxed. It's a kill into Jenny now, and that means Shrex gods, they just can't be in at all. They have to go so far back. It's a 75% Uber advantage for Zab as well. It's so scary now if you are Shrex gods. The Russians, if they play this properly, they can run down the clock so much. Just delay them as well. This supercharge, they don't have to pop it at all. They can just wait for you to try to go in, and they can just sit back, spam you out, and it's so hard for Shrex gods to do that much. They have to figure out something. They have to figure it out fast. 2 minutes on the clock now.
Sack wave incoming from the red side. They're just flying in. They do get the force out of the blue team, so that is going to be exactly what they were looking for here. Jenny's actually going to be able to survive as well, so he's going to be escaping back out. Bomb flying in, though. Can he find the rockets? He does. Oh, no, he gets killed.
Oh.
Oko flies in. He gets an arrow from his medic as well. Jenny's aggressive the demo. He finds the kill as well. He's in on to Cricket. He kills him as well. He's finding all of the kills here. Jenny pulling it out the bag.
Yeah, Jenny, that's so huge. They have a massive advantage. They have a much player advantage. Not only Uber, also players, and now they're setting up on Cliff. They want to hold this a little bit more aggressively now. They can just run down the clock. It's 2 minutes for them as well, and this should be at least 30 seconds. A lot of damage, but that demo's alone. TSD has to be careful here. He does so much damage. It's a nice call to the soldier, but the sniper gets the headshot. And this is where it gets scary here for Shrex gods. They have an Uber advantage. They have to pop it, but they've lost 2.
They do a good job of getting up the cliff, though, with the scout speed. They find the medic as well in the doorway. Unfortunately, their scout also goes down on all of that aloe here. It's still at large here with Jenny. Going to be defending his medic. Nice surf from Havoc, but unfortunately gets picked off right at the end by Light DS. Going to be bombing him from behind, so able to get the recapture here. The times on the clock are going to be even. Jab has respawned, but he's not spawned with anyone, so the Ubers are actually going to end up being even at the end of this here.
Yeah, Uber's basically even, but the most important part, honestly, is the Russian managed to get this time to get positioning onto the point. It's so crucial. They have superior positioning. You can see the soldiers just sitting there on the high ground on top of Cliff, and they know where the red team is coming from. Shrex gods, they're trying to go forward. The soldier bombs honestly flubbed a little bit there. It's hard, but they get the kill onto Aloe. This is a really good start, but Bob Donkey taken down as well. Everyone's kind of losing players at the moment, but Shrex gods, they're getting positions at the point the Russians can't fight this. No sniper, no players. It's very hard for them to do anything.
Very nice stuff there from the red team. They're going to be able to cap up that point as well. Jab currently up to 67% Uber. Havoc is going to be on equal as well. But this demo on the Russian team is in on his own and just dies to Jenny. So a little bit overextended there. Like I said before, the Russians, they don't really use their brains too much. They're all about just punching people into the dirt until they win. So they're going for the submission victory. With Cricket picked up in main there by Oko as well. I've got to say, Jenny is putting in the work, but gets picked up by Aloe in the front line. So a little bit maybe getting aggressive here on the side of the red team. All they need to do is just sit back and play the spam game, defend the edge of that point, rather than being as far ahead as they are on this point.
Have to look at the Ubers
Oh
hit. That's
my
a huge
God.
rocket. Destroys the enemy soldier there. But you have to look at the Ubers. You can see both teams have 100%, and that means, honestly, if you are Garbage Crew, you have to go for a trade here. 20 seconds left. It means you have to take this Uber fight and then hope you have the better post-Uber. It is really difficult to get good positioning. They have to do a lot of work here. The Uber comes in. It's a Demo Man and 2 scouts, but no soldiers to take the high ground. This is a scary fight.
Okay, they lose 2, and they lose Jenny as well. They lose the team carrier, and Havoc is trying to back out here, but he is going to go down right at the end, and they don't get anyone on the side of the red team. They are in a very scary situation now where they need to try and reclaim this point and fast. I think it should just be a pyro right side just to get out of this hold that is going to be coming in here. The forward hold is out. Looks like they're going to be going for the main push. They're just flooding out through the main. Both scouts have made it in nice and clean. The soldiers made it in clean. The dev is in. The medic is in, but Cricket is on his face and he kills him off. Light DS from the high ground, raining rockets down on the red team. Going to stop them in their tracks here. 2 HP, 6 and 8 HP to their names.
Wow.
So it looks like they're all going to get cleaned up here. 20 seconds remaining on the clock, and a lot of players aren't going to be able to make it back to the point in time here when to make this final offensive happen, but they are gearing up for it. They're getting ready.
It's 10 seconds. They have to go in.
They're making it happen. Jenny's W keying in. Jab has Uber. They need to drop him. He uses off that Uber. And now it's a terrible situation if you're the red team right now. They've got to try and run to this point against Uber players, and they're all just going to feed their lives away. And this is going to be map number 1, going the way of the Garbage Crew.
Yeah, really good a like really nice map out of them, honestly. I was pretty impressed. They were really aggressive, and honestly, Shrex just didn't really have an answer. They played it so well, especially the demo. It's playing on an absolute knife's edge. Does so much damage, to be completely honest. So log must be big, I assume. As, I mean, yeah, Shrek's crew, they are going on to a different game mode now. I mean, we're going to a different map. Honestly, Viaduct is kind of one of those maps. It's completely different from any other map we play in the pool, and it's much closer and much more intense. It just flows differently. So going forwards, I mean, Garbage Crew, their aggression worked on this kind of map on Koth, but will it work here on Granary?
I mean, Granary is a lot slower and a lot more technical, for sure. It's going to take a lot more coordination. I feel like the Russians are going to have a harder time trying to beat them into submission on a map which isn't heavily DM favoured, but you never know. The soldiers, the stuff I saw from Light Diaz was exceptional. His spoons and his bombs were really, really good, so she basically did a good job as well. So these soldiers, they could really shine on Granary as well, so excited to see what they get done here. I think Vosi and Donkey had just had a hard time against Kricken in that last game. Both scouts coming in respectively with 43 and 31 frags on the blue team, so 43 frags from Kricken. Holy moly, that's quite a lot. Jenny only coming in with a sultry 35 behind him.
Yeah, only. Wow. Only 376 DPM. Unfortunately, just not quite enough. You can see the amount of kills as well. Very, very aggressive game. But, like, yeah, I mean, once again, Demo Man, 421 DPM. It's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's quite a lot of damage. He was just at the front of that point the entire time, just chewing him up and just receiving, I think, most of the... I'm going to scroll down and have a look. Yep, he just received 37% heals that game. So whenever I saw it, he just had a medic attached to him the whole time just so he could continue to be that aggressive. There were a few moments, a couple questionable positional plays, a little bit ahead of the team, but that's just the way the Russians play. I feel like it's up to Shrex gods to try and, try and just figure them out a little bit.
Yeah, we saw the mids where they managed to get that early kill onto the Russians, get the kill onto the demo, get the kill onto a soldier, and suddenly the entire thing just fell apart for the Russians. They didn't really have an answer when they didn't have a demo shoved across the point. And honestly, a demo man halfway across product is really easy pickings. If you play the scout class properly, just stand on the rock and you shoot him and the demo man dies. Fortunately, I mean, this map on Granary, which we are going into, I mean, it should be a lot easier to kind of stave off the aggression. Granary has a lot of choke points. You kind of have to bust, which, I mean, again, in theory, if you just kind of shock doctrine Shrex, if you are the Russians, just kind of walk in always, it could potentially work. The mid-fights do allow you to get a little bit aggressive very early on, with some really fast soldier bombs, some really aggressive demo play, but it's definitely, once again, there's so much high ground offered, and most importantly, high ground offered to the scout class, which means that if you want to, as Shrek's gods, you should be able to realistically hold them off.
I think they're actually going to just have a hard time on the mids. If the Shrex gods have a hard time on the mid, and they end up losing, and they lose Havoc, then they're going to get shoved straight to last. Just because they're going to barrel forwards. The Russians are just going to run at them. And we know that's going to happen as well. I think these soldiers are going to run, get to the mid and then just immediately bomb. Both of them are going to high bomb. They're going to land on Havoc. He's going to die, and then they'll just run at them.
Yeah, definitely. But I feel like, honestly, after that map, it's kind of what you expect, right? If you are Shrek's gods, I feel like if you just put up 2 scouts on the crates and you shoot the players that fly at you, you win the mid.
I think that if they do a catwalk rollout on Shrek's gods, they'll be fine. But if they don't, they'll be screwed. So, well, we'll see if they can. We'll see if they have the same kind of analysis as we've had coming into this, because I feel like they, on some level, they're going to know, aren't they? They probably scrimmed against them before. I mean, they played against them before. So they know how it works.
I mean, also, we have to point out, last time they played, both maps were 5 CP, but I think, more importantly, I think CP Snakewater, which feels like, honestly, at least to me, to be the most sort of technical map out of Sunshine and Snakewater in terms of just, the amount of high ground, the amount of sort of choice you have and where you want to push, feels like, honestly, that was the one where Shrek's gods did come ahead. They came ahead 1-0. Going Granary, I think there's a lot of parallels you can draw between Granary and Snake Order, to be honest. And I think potentially it should be an advantage for them. It does reward a little bit slow play. I think Granary also, as just a map, it slows down the game a lot. You cannot play Granary as fast as you can play on product.
I think I have a feeling, a sneaky suspicion, that Granary is Shrex God's pick.
Looking at the match page, it doesn't say. Okay.
It doesn't say, but I've got a suspicion that this is going to be their map pick.
Probably, yes.
I mean, if you're coming into this game with an analytical mindset, you're going to say, like, oh yeah, these players are just going to run at us. So let's play a slow map like Granary. Where they can't do that, and there's choke points and stuff. Little do they know, the Russians don't care. They'll slam their face into a brick wall until it works, you know?
Yep.
Also, you're apparently Dum-Tum now, so you should act like Dum-Tum.
Okay, Lucky, let me tell you about Pokemon.
Okay.
And Open Highlander games.
Okay.
I don't actually... Wait, okay. So I'm playing Pokemon Platinum, right? And it's really cool. I actually told you about this earlier, but chat doesn't know that I'm really upset that in the Sinnoh games, in Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Hippopotas can learn Dig as a level up move. But unfortunately, when you find Hippopotas in the wild, it no longer has Dig. But then it also doesn't get Dig by TM. So you have to use a heart scale to teach it Dig. And it's really annoying.
What a wonderful game design. There's stuff like egg moves all over the place for different Pokemon that I really like. Like when I was like, I put a Bagon and a Gyarados in the daycare, and my Gyarados knew Hydro Pump, and there somehow became an egg. And I was like, how a little like 8-year-old me was like, what is this? And spawn you hatch a Bagon and it has Hydro Pump. That stuff to me is nuts.
Yeah. I'm using I went through the absolute pain of finding a Pokemon through honey trees, which cannot be recommended at all.
Did you get a Munchlax yet? Is that what you were trying to do?
I wanted an Ambipom, which has a whopping 5% encounter rate on honey trees. Unfortunately, I ran out of patience after a day and a half. Got really thankful I was playing on my PC, so I just happened to magically find this code on the internet that let me find one in the wild. I didn't have to do honey trees anymore.
Oh yes.
But unfortunately, see, everyone talks about Ambipom and how it gets Fake Out, but that's an egg move. And the only Pokemon in the game until the post game that gets Fake Out is Glameow. And again, Glameow is only in Diamond for some reason. So I just don't have Fake Out. And it's really sad. Because Ambipom has Technician, which means that Fake Out does a lot of damage.
Is Glameow in Diamond? I thought Glameow was Pearl.
I think Glameow is Diamond only.
Because I thought Skuntank was Diamond.
Maybe that's how it works.
Yeah, because it's Perugly and Pearl. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Moral of the story is I don't have Fake Out, and it's really sad.
So that means you can't get Fake Out in Diamond.
You can, just not on Ambipom, unless you have a friend willing to trade.
Yeah.
But you can also wait until the post game and get Fake Out on a different Pokemon that you can also breed with an Apom, and then you can get Fake Out on your Ambipom.
Ah, that's good. I see. Okay. It's really weird, though, because the animation is just 2 hands, and Ambipom is just... he has 2 hands.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the move was made for Ambipom.
Yeah.
I really like Ambipom. It's a cool Pokemon.
Big confusion. I've got many fond memories of playing that game. Great stuff. Are you going to be playing the remakes as well?
Absolutely. Nintendo could make any Pokemon game and I'll buy it, no matter how much I morally disagree
that's
with the way they run
I
it.
am as well.
I'm
I'll
gonna
even
be
buy
honest.
the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. I love those games. Not a lot of people do, but I love them. Really? Okay,
Nope.
You need to play those games.
Why?
They're really
Pokemon.
fun. It is Pokemon.
It's like the only thing I've ever
You
seen.
play as a Pokemon.
It's like a Pokemon isekai, and I don't need that in my life.
Okay, well you should still play it.
Do you know what else really affected my childhood and put a lasting impression on me?
What?
It's playing low grand finals. Which I actually didn't do, but I've been on multiple teams that have made it there. So, there are players on the server. We're still waiting. Somehow they just decided they needed to go walk their dog.
It wouldn't be TF2 without a cigarette break in the middle.
Nope. It's been a long one, honestly. Normally it doesn't take 11 minutes.
There we go. We got players joining teams. There we go. Everyone's in. They've got a ready up as well here. We are going to be going live. Sorry, guys, for holding you up without Pokemon talk. It literally isn't our fault. There's nothing we can do about it as casters. We just sit here and talk.
Have you played Final Fantasy XIV?
No.
It's a really good game. You guys should try it. Okay. TF2 time. There are players shooting. I mean, I guess I'm
predictions, Juan. What do you reckon the score's going to be?
I think Shrex gods are going to take this. I think it's going to be a very close 2-1. I think it's going to be a very close, very slow 2-1. Or it's either going to be a very slow 2-1, or the Russians are going to go in and then Shrex gods just won't be able to handle it. It's going to be a 5-0 in like 10 minutes.
Oof. My prediction is Shrex gods are going to take this map 3-1. That's what I think is going to happen. I feel like it's going to be a cold, calculated 3-1 where the Russians are... Well, it's going to be like 1... It'll be like 1-1, and then the Russians will get bored and just start doing stupid stuff, and then they'll throw, and then it'll be a win to Shrex gods, and then they got to go to map 3, so you never know. We're getting ready.
Yep, we're readying up once again. This is ETF2L Season 39. Got the low grand final here. Shrex gods versus Garbage Crew. Garbage Crew, they won map number 1 at this time. They're trying to end it in 2. Whereas Shrex gods, they're trying to bring it to a 3rd one. They want this victory. They want the dub. We're rolling out here. It's Granary this time around. So Demoman exchanging damage. And early on, no immediate aggression.
YDS going in for bomb though, goes in towards the Demoman. Oh, nice little sync bomb lands on Jenny, finds that pick there. Bob Donkey here going low as well. And looks like they have been crushed. But Havoc has managed to survive. As I say that, Cubase is flanking to the side. Looks like they're heading in. They are going to find all of the kills. It's a wipe, unfortunately, for the side of the Shrex gods. The Russians have started out how we thought they would, with an absolute mid-roll.
Yeah, the kills onto both Jenny and onto Oko was so huge. No scouts alive means that the Russians, they could just bomb that demo into choke. There's no one there to deny him. They take the mid-fight, and then the Roma flank in the end to sort of clean them up in choke as well. Good, big stuff out of them. So now the Russians are coming to last. It was delayed a little bit. They have to take care of the sentry here.
Looks like they do manage to do it. Ubering through that left-hand side, going to be going up on the pipe here. They haven't got across quite as fast as you would probably like here, and Cubase has gone down here, so the Russians here in a bit of a bad situation. Oh, like Diaz bombing in, finds both soldiers on the high ground. So this is going to be a lot of pressure relief. Also, they're going in on the heavy. The spoon comes in, like Diaz finding that one as well. Just picking it up for his team. Cricket on the point though, trying to find as many frags as he can. TST and like Diaz are just having a 1v1, but Cricken's here as well. Onto the medic, finds Havoc, is trying to kill them, and the respawners have come in. He needs to stand on this point, but unfortunately can't get on it and just receives a splash rocket to the feet. Chubase is going to be bombing it as well. From top, whiffs it completely and dies on the point.
That was one of those. I mean, the soldiers out of Shrex gods got to stand on top on pipes for so long with no one contesting them and got to do so much damage to the Russians. Garbage Crew, they really didn't have an answer. But it looks like Aloe just kills everyone.
Okay, they're just going to be going off. Like the ass on point as well. Cat time threat is too much, and they are just going to win it out. First round, they just bullet in position. No one checked lunchbox. Aloe was just sitting in there, runs in, finds 3 kills, easy peasy.
That was big stuff out of him. Now follow-up onto the point as well. The Russians went in immediately, almost no hesitation. Shrex gods, they lost that round in 2.5 minutes. Just pretty slow this time around. I mean, if you are Shrex gods, you have to bring down the pace of this game because the Russians are just going breakneck speed, and it's so hard for them to really keep themselves in the game.
They had a chance after that last push, but they unfortunately couldn't hold it together. We've got another mid-fire in our hands. Soldiers both bombing from the high ground here. Split decision. Trying to land some Havoc here. Good damage onto him, but looks like they haven't managed to find the frags this time around, but they do lose 2 on the side of the Russians. They lose like DS and the Demoman. Cricken going down as well. Chubase getting low as well. It looks like the Russians are committed into this mid. Aloe's just trying to take the fight here, but it looks like Chubase goes in. Crate is against the ground, but buys the space for the Russians to get out of this mid.
Shrex gods, they want to take more. They're not satisfied with just mid. You can see no demo man for the Russians, which means Shrex gods, they're trying to take second. They've already taken yard, but now it's a certain number of respawners. It's even Ubers as well. They have to be a little bit careful here, Shrex gods. But at the same time, Garbage Crew, they don't want to just sit on point. It's so easy to get spammed, and vice versa as well. Either team really likes sitting here, and it looks like Shrex gods, they may be looking towards Lunchbox. It's a really nice position here, but they have to be so careful. They're all stuck on this left side of yard, and it's so easy for them to get flanked right now. They have to be careful.
Looks like they could just walk directly through Shutter. It's very odd having a demo man on this left-hand side, like bringing him with the team. Jenny is the only one watching that flank area right now, so he is susceptible to getting picked off. But it looks like they are pressuring heavily from top here. They do find Oko, and they should retreat out of this, and they are sending their players back here. Shoebase, though, with a flank, goes in, finds good damage, actually gets cleaned up there. Bob Donkey just surviving. TSP finding a kill as well, and they do manage to keep all their players alive. Good arrow as well onto the demo man now. And looks like TSD actually gets Ubered here. The blue Uber comes out as well. It's going to be a bit of a trade here, but the demo man is caught in for the blue team. Super weak on the post. Uber gets cleaned up with the pipe by DS goes down as well. And Bosi dying in a trade with him. They do find all the picks that they need here. Could go for something more, but it looks like they are just going to play it defensively and slow for the time being.
It's going to be hard. They don't have Uber advantage, and there's a Heavy just sat on top of the pipes here. You can see the Heavy just immediately shuts down the aggression. They cannot go forwards. So now, I mean, it's even Ubers here. The Russians, that trade, honestly, a little bit questionable. They didn't have any position for the post Uber, and it allowed Shrex God to just take second. Forces Garbage Crew back onto last. This Heavy can pretty much hold last on its own, but staying on last is boring. Pushing out is more fun.
It is indeed. Looks like we have just got a nice stalemate on our hands, but you can see the Russians, they really don't care about slowing down here. Aloe's actually not off-classing whatsoever, and they're just opting to keep this Heavy on the pipe, and that's all they seem to want on the side of the Russians. They do not want to do anything else here. No set plays in mind, probably have a map talked, don't care.
Map talking is for people that don't play officials at 20. Yeah, I'm trying. Maybe this is why I'm not good at the game anymore, but I haven't done a map talk in like 5 years. And I've been on many a team since then.
And I'll do it.
Yep.
Oh,
I mean, you see the soldiers trying to get a little bit of aggression, but look at this! Force just comes out of Jenny all on his own, managed to get that force onto the
What
medic.
What is going on here? Havoc,
wait, what's happening?
Havoc runs in with his demo, drops his demo from the Uber, and gets on top of this Heavy here. Heavy is super weak here on the low ground, needs one more shot into him. They got some jab as well. The bombs are coming in for the soldiers. They are getting on top of this point, and they are going to win the round. Jenny pulling it out of the back with that force.
Okay. That was, that's a push. So Jenny walks in, gets the force, and then immediately the rest of the team just goes in. This demo man dies, which is not exactly optimal, but the Russians, they lose their own. So there we go, Shrex gods, they've managed to respond back with a round. There's a lot of time left to play for, 24 minutes. Should be plenty of time. Neither team is really in any sort of substantial lead here. This time around on mid, you can see how scared, honestly. They have to sit far back here. The bombs are coming in now. It's doing a lot of work so far. It's damage onto the players here on the red side. Shrex gods. It's Havoc taking a lot of damage. Gets taken down by the pipes here. So now Garbage Crew, all of a sudden, they can play this a little bit more passive. Let the enemy come into them. Their superior health. But Jenny is doing so much work. It's so many kills here. And there we go. TSC just goes in. Gets a kill onto Jab here. And now it's only Demo Man left alive here. The blue demo just has to run back out. The health on the red side is nothing at all. But they get a much later kill onto the medic. Big ad here for Havoc.
It's a decent ad here, up to 20% ad here, it looks like. And they're going to be able to get this mid, and then I don't think they'll get anything else here. They're going to probably have to stalemate into second. Cricket already got an sentry on the last, a little bit of a questionable decision there. He doesn't really need to do it. But it looks like they're not really counting Ubers. Demo man up on this left-hand side as well for the blue team. I hate the demo man on the left, man. It sucks.
Yeah, it's not exactly optimal. I mean, again, they have advantage here. They are pretty close. They could just bust in, kill the medic. The Russians, Garbage Crew, are playing really close. It's a scout over in, and it's going to do a lot of damage here.
They go on it. They're going to be running in, trying to get on top of Jab here. They find a lot of picks here. Demo's in as well. Oh, nearly finds the fight with Jab. Does manage to survive there. Bob Donkey goes in as well. Looks like he's going to be on the high ground. That's the safe IDS does receive an arrow though. Goes in for a rejump here. Bosi commits in for the mate. Gets his force off. And that's going to be exactly what they need on the side of the Shrex gods here. Vosi getting chased out top as well, does manage to escape. Jenny, the only casualty from that Uber. Very nice stuff there coming out from the Shrex gods.
Yeah, that was really, really nice. They get the force out, and they managed to not really lose any players. It's only Jenny. So now they have a 30% advantage to play off here as well. It is a little bit hard on Granary especially. It's a lot of ground to cover. But honestly, the coveted, the patented Lucas double sticky through shutters into the enemy is very, very powerful. It covers a lot of space immediately. And I really like it. But the heavy on the high ground is still really scary. As long as this heavy is standing on these pipes, soldiers can't do anything. Uber's coming out now. There's a lot of pressure on point here.
So they're just sending players in here on the red side. They haven't got on top of the mech just yet, but the capture time is coming down. Looks like a lot of players get killed off. Both scouts going down. The Uber comes out from the blue team as well. Vosi's still on that high ground, but he is facing down an Uber, and it's not a position you want to be in. Havoc has managed to escape out with his soldier as well, however.
Yeah, Havoc getting out is crucial, but this time around, Dab is still healing, which means that the Uber advantage for Havoc is only going to be about 10%, which honestly, in the grand scheme of things, is not an Uber advantage. It's just even Ubers, basically, at this point. But look at this. The Garbage Crew, they're trying to fight, but then Shrex Crew, they're just there immediately. Shrex gods want no part of Russians on their own yard, as Demo is just taken down.
TSD just peeks it from Z, finds that kill easily here, and they're going to be heading towards the left-hand side, in through the garage, and they're going to be able to get this point. That Demo pick is all they need, and looks like they want to get aggressive continually here. No stickies are going to be on point here. They're going to be taking the super, and they just use it out. They're trying to bomb on top of this medic, but they're not going to be able to find anything at all here, and Havoc does get a nice little flash onto his Demo man, and they do manage to split up and escape. Vosi and Light Diaz is going to be trading out once again. These two keep fragging each other over and over.
They're fragging each other, but honestly, again, not much really probably will come of this. Trading a soldier for a soldier, especially in a map like this, is not that big. But look at this, it's just going in anyway. I didn't even realize. I was looking at them, thought they'd just stay on second, but every one of the Russians is just gonna fall down. That's a really nice round out of Shrex squad. Aggression right out of the Russians' own playbook, to be completely honest, comes out of nowhere. They turn a single soldier pick into a round.
That was a great read. They had no one on the left-hand side pipe on the high ground. They had no one watching the left-hand side doors. They just ran in. That was a really, really nice read coming out from Shrex gods there. Really nice stuff coming out from them. Heading into the next mid now. It's 2-1. They're in the lead in this match. Let's see if they can keep it going here, Juan.
Yeah, I mean, momentum in their favor now. It's pretty much all they've ever wanted. For one of the first times in the series, honestly. Feels like they're really in the lead. So, soldier bombs coming out of the Russians early on. It's a lot of damage on the Havoc, but this time a beautiful surf will send him all the way to safety, and it's a complete cleanup here for Shrex gods. Everyone is going to fall for the Russians because the soldier, Vosi, just comes in with his soldier friend now as well. It's only a demo man. Taunts acknowledges his fate. There we go, complete right. Shrex gods, they're on second already. They're walking into last. They need a cap second.
They're gonna. Oh, can they get the spawn cap here? They do a lot of damage onto the spawn. The heavy's out the door. Why did he walk out the door? He's gonna go down the pipe onto the scout as well. They've now popped out the supercharge. They've already killed so many players on the Russian team. They're gonna take this last point, Juan. It's gonna be 3-1 already.
That was a dominant round coming out of Shrex god. The aggression, the mid was played beautifully. Havoc doing an amazing play there, as well keeping himself alive, and they just rolled that advantage right into last. They gave them no quarter. The Russians, honestly, it looks like, again, they really didn't have an answer for that. They could not handle that amount of pressure that early on coming out of Shrex gods.
There's nothing they could have done there. Amazing stuff coming out from Shrex gods. Really nice. On the last couple pushes, let's see if they can keep it up. Shrex gods taking the high ground here. TSD going to be playing it, but looks like bombing over on this left-hand side. They've changed up the mid on the Russians. They found the new formula, and they are in. They outshone TSD very early on, and really, really good damage inside of the rest of the red team. So looks like they're going to be trying to escape here on Shrex gods. They have got Havoc and Jenny. They very wisely take this right-hand side yard just to escape all the way back out. It is probably going to be them holding last. The demo is bombing in, super weak already from the jump, but he's not going to be able to find this medic, unfortunately, who's out to last.
So the Russians, I mean, Garbage Crew, they get the point, they get second as well, which, I mean, this is really good for them, obviously. But it's not a round victory here. There's still a medic alive with 100% advantage on the enemy team as well. It's not enough to push it all the way to a round victory. You can see, actually, Shrex gods, they want to fight this. Doing a lot of damage here.
Need to be careful in this position. They need to just escape back out to last. A lot of players very weak on the side of the Shrex gods right now. If the sack came in, it would be a very, very cringe, and They are just going to start hitting up their players. They have opted for the heavy for the time being. Very wise decision considering they haven't got a sentry gun up. They're just going to stick to that heavy and the sniper at the same time here. Demo peeking over from that left-hand side just to see what they've got. And they will spot the heavy.
I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee that heavy is there sitting on a pipe. It does so much work just to deny everyone. It's so hard to deal with. You have to focus it down pretty much immediately. And focusing down a 450 HP medic is heavy rather, is hard. It's difficult. It's a lot of work. And he just does so much area denial. Even if you're Ubered, because of the way bullets work and source, it's hard. He denies so much space taking. And Shrex squads, honestly, they can just sit here. They can run down the clock. They're 2 rounds up. 16 minutes left. They're fine with just sitting back and relaxing on last.
This is what they wanted out of this game. They wanted it to go nice and slow. They're going lunchbox now with their soldier, buffing him up. Looks like it's going to be a sack from window here. He's making his way over to base, just taking this angle here. They do find the pick up to like Diaz. That should shut down the aggression here from the Russians, and they're just going to retreat back into their hidey hole here. But the aggression coming out from Shrex gods here, they're just going to keep walking in. They've actually walked fully into second, basically, here. They've still got their sniper at large. They could start getting cap time if they wanted here.
But they have to be careful of Lunchbox as well. It's such a precarious situation because they don't really have anyone in Lunchbox. The flank could come in at any time. Also from Zed as well. You can see they're edging out the cap point, but at the same time, spam can be exchanged equally both ways here. They will just about edge out the point, but honestly, I don't know. Holding from behind the point is so difficult. The heavy is there. Is it really enough? You can see they're forced to walk a little bit further back. And Shrex gods, yes, they took second. It's a little bit of a buffer. But they have to watch out. It's sniper out on Cricket as well.
What? Demo dead.
Okay, that's good.
TSD there, yeah. They're fine here in this position. This is absolutely okay if you're the side of Shrex gods, and finding that demo pick is even better here. So they're going to be making their way to the right-hand side shot. But both soldiers are there to greet them, kind of like a gully watch mid situation. And they don't actually use off that Uber. Very nice stuff. Jab still has his Uber, but Kricken up on that sniper. Going to be sitting in the bottom left. Has been caught by the demo here. And he's going to be walking all the way in here. They're just trying to pick up that sniper. And he's gotten out here. They do force out the Uber from like Diaz as well. And he does get taken down. But Jab still has his Uber. It's unfortunate now that the Russians are in a situation where they have a full advantage and a sniper.
Yeah, the bomb coming out there is really big, but as you're saying, the sniper, it makes it so much harder for the Russians to push here. The sniper has to hit a lot of shots, but look at the demo. He's going in so aggressive, and he just gets taken down immediately. Both people happily trade with his life for that. And the Shrex gods, they can just go back to second here, play behind the point. They still have the demo man. It's going to be so difficult for Garbage Crew to really do anything much other than take second here. Yes, they can go in with the Uber charge, but with the only one scout, it's so difficult.
It's up to this sniper now to try and land some shots here, but looks like Havoc still doesn't have his Uber available, so the Russians still have an advantage, but they're just playing it slowly with the sniper, which is a bit unfortunate because they could have rolled it all the way to last by this point, but looks like they have found the Uber on the side of the Shrex gods here, and TSD once again taking a 1v1 with the demo. They actually pop out the Uber, unfortunately, here. It's a very whiffed one. Oko's going to be running in here, but the blue team, they have actually popped out their own Uber. So they're going to be making their way back into the fight, but they're fighting into a lot of spam here. Chubase gets bodied, but ends up in lunchbox here. Looks like they find the TSD and Oko going down simultaneously. They're on top of Havoc here in this corner as well. He gets cleaned up here. One scout. Looks like he's going to go down, but it's going to be a wipe. And looks like the Russians are going to find this round.
Yeah, the Russians clap back. And now, 13 minutes on the clock. They're very much still in this game. This sniper honestly wasn't really doing anything, but that kill on to TSD does so much to open it up for Garbage Crew. It allows them to get into last, and now they're only a single round behind. Yes, they're still a round behind, but they have 12.5 minutes to do it in, and that's plenty of time to get one, maybe even 2 rounds. They're on to middle now very shortly, and I mean, it's still very much anyone's game.
TSD is into mid, gets that pack, not playing the high ground this time around, but it looks like it's going to be another left-hand side mid for the Russians. They're going to be bombing both soldiers from the high ground on towards Havoc here. Havoc with another nice surf, does manage to get jumped a little bit there, but freaking here in the face of the damage. Jam went down during all of that. The rebomb in from like Diaz trying to find the medic, and does find it at the end. It's just going to be Oko versus 2, but he's buffed and they're not. Does find like Diaz. Oko doesn't clean it up. Aloe is going to find this mid for the Russians.
Yeah, Aloe finds that in the end, but it's an extremely close mid fight. Honestly, there's not really much of a winner here. Jab does spawn first, but he's only going to get himself about a 20% advantage, which again, it's not that big of a deal. Right? Like, 20% advantage, you can, in theory, push up it, but you have to push right around the corner. The medic is standing there. Anything, like, below 30% can just be kited out if the other team plays it properly. So, Garbage Crew set up on mid. As Shrex Gods as well, setting up on second here. Neither team can really go for any play, as both teams just want to build out the Zuba.
Yeah, Shrex God's here. Looks like Havoc's actually positioning himself rather aggressively here, so if he remains in this position for too long, he is going to get caught out. So we'll see what happens here. I think the Russians know they've got the small advantage and will probably be going for it as well. They are still holding close. This is danger territory now for Shrex Gods. Needs to be very careful.
They do indeed, but the Garbage Crew, they aren't aggressing quite yet. They're sitting back. Havoc should be able to get to 99, 100%. There we go. Everything's good in the hood now. So, he's standing pretty close, honestly. This is an interesting position. It's honestly pretty spammable from this ramp room area. Has to be a little bit careful. Chubei is brought down very, very low, but nothing further will really happen there. Spam could just be exchanged. Again, Shrex Gods very much like this. Just sit back, spam, farm some logs. Still a round up. Yes, they were 2 rounds up beforehand, but it's sniper out of Cricket again. And Cricket, he's going to have to hit a shot here.
He needs to land something here if he's going to choose to go for the sniper. They were waiting for it, so I think they're going to be aware now that the sniper is there after he fires that shot, but Cricket gets super low. He's not going to be able to get anything at all. Has to go back and get that health tank, get healed up by his medic, and go again. But once again, just driving down this clock, playing the slow games, how they want to play it. It's up to the Russians to make a move here. They are in the driving seat to be aggressive here. Just like the demo man, once again, going to be peeking pretty aggressively here. He is just... His patience is wavering, and you can feel it, Wang. You can feel that he wants to do things.
Yeah, honestly, it can be pretty draining to just sit back if you're used to going forwards. Playing TF2 a little bit more aggressive, just having to sit back, take this moment, wait for your sniper. It's so difficult. Cricket has a nice little angle onto the demo man. Doesn't end up finding it. He's been going for the same shot through the window. I mean, you can see as well. Oh, light DS. Destroys Oko with very nice rockets there.
Demolished. But also the demo man going down for the Russians is going to open things up into mid as well, but Cricken being on the sniper is not going to do them any favours here. Light DS escaping back through the choke with the pickaxe, does manage to escape all the way out into Yard. We do call Granary the 7-point map, with Yard being its own, nearly its own control point here, so we just see a flip-flop here. Good stuff coming out from Shrex Gods, playing it very, very well so far. But Cricken up on this sniper on defense is both a blessing and a curse in some ways.
Especially on the defense, suddenly it allows him to play a little bit more defensive. He doesn't have to go for aggressive peaks anymore. He can let the enemy team come into him. But if you're Shrex Gods, honestly, do you really even need to go in? I mean, yes, they are playing towards a ramp room. They got that kill onto the demo man earlier on. But once again, it feels like they could just run down the clock. If we're running by the enemy demo man is going to get bored and peek randomly, they're just going to get a free demo kill, and they can push off of that on its own. They have to be so careful of the Cricket sniper still. Yes, he hasn't found a shot yet, but the moment that you go forwards on Shrex Gods, you will open up for an angle. There we go. The kill onto Oko. It's not huge, it's just a scout kill, but it looks like the Russians, they want to go off this anyway.
They have to go off it. I mean, sacking with a sniper is awful usually anyway, but it looks like they are going to find Bosi as well, though. Actually, no, Bosi survives. He's super weak on top of that crate.
Oh, no.
No! Oh, he jumped off the high ground, nearly craters, but managed to survive here. Good stuff, only just surviving here. I mean, oh, the demo's walked in again. The Russian demo has most of... Okay, they pop out the Uber on the side of the red team as well. Most is going to be taken in. They find Base, it looks like they do. But it's a 1-for-1 trade, but the Ubers have been not been exchanged. Jab still has his. But once again, you're in a position where you have 100% Uber advantage and a sniper.
There's an opposing sniper in the enemy team as well. Oko is looking to snipe, and he just gets taken down by the scout here. But look at Bosi, just comes in from the high ground, from the lamp, the classic, and gets the force. Yes, he ends up getting taken down, but if you're Shrex Gods, you take that any day of the week. You can see how far back Havoc is already. He's sitting back on Yard. Maybe, honestly, he's a little bit far forwards. There's a kill into Chubei. They're doing a lot of damage. That
Bob's
back cap
just playing with him right now.
is gonna do nothing. Oh, wait.
Oh my. Okay.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, they
That's
decided to go forwards, which was, not the move.
A bad call.
Yeah, that's, they're wiped.
Yeah, that was terrible. They didn't play out the playbook. They've just now given away all the advantages that they've had before. And now they're back in the driving seat of the Russian team, and you don't want the Russians to have any form of advantage here. Look, they only have a heal advantage, but they're going in. Bob has managed to spawn camp Base again, so Does find that. Bosi gets body shot down. Kraken's very happy to peek this left-hand side. Not a lot of pressure coming out. Does find the heavy kill as well. Gets arrowed down by Havoc though, so Havoc having to clean up that kill. Jenny should not be on NG right now. And looks like they are just going to be taking this fight here against them. 9 seconds for any red players to come up here. So the blue Uber does come out. They need to play the point. The next 4 seconds are very crucial. Doesn't matter if Havoc dies here. They need to play the point right now, and they do so. Find the remaining kills as spawns come in. It's going to be 3-3.
3-3 with 6.5 minutes remaining. Once again, this is very much any team's game to play. And honestly, Shrex gods, they just threw that away. They walked in through balcony when Bob's donkey was behind and just kinda died. Walked into demo spam for no real reason. They didn't have an Uber to play off. They just kind of went in because they had a player behind, but the player behind was in no position to really do anything. No one on the Russians went back, and so they just end up walking into the Russians and dying. Now, it's 3-3 in the Russians. It looks like, there we go, they're just going straight in onto this mid-fight. They take down TSD immediately, and there we go, Havoc is dead as well. It's just 3 players up, 2 scouts and a soldier. Bosi's 130, and it's so difficult for them to do anything. Bob Donkey gets taken down. Bosi taken down.
Jab.
Oko as well, and it's a wipe. The Russians now, they're looking. They went in. They opened the shelves. They opened the drawer. They found the hammer. They found the box with the nails. They're getting ready to hammer it in.
Yeah, they're going to put the final nails in the coffin here. It looks like they have full hand to play with. They need to get another round on the board, and they will be in the lead and in the driving seat to get this gold medal for the low division. They do find TSD very early on, though. The demo going down. The sniper is there. Still hasn't used the Uber. The balls on this man. They do get off the sentry gun, though. They get the flashes off as well. And looks like they are going to find the medic as well. Havoc, so he goes down. Jab now on the low ground with the rest of his players is going to be able to get a bunch of bombs in towards this point here. Everyone is weak, and they are going to get the round here, Wandum, for a 4-3.
I mean, the Garbage Crew, they played that so well. The middle's so aggressive. They found the 2 key kills, taking down TSD at the very beginning of the mid fight. He got to play. He didn't get to play, actually. Just like he got to go to mid and then he died. And so the Garbage Crew now, they were down 2 rounds. Suddenly they're up around 4.5 minutes left. Yes, if you are a Shrex Gods fan, they can still very much come back into this game, but it all comes down to this mid-fight. If you are Garbage Crew, you're just looking to shut it down, put that nail in the coffin. They're so close to the victory now.
Looks like they're going for another aggressive mid. Why change the pace? But looks like they are failing this time around. Much better for Shrex Gods this time around. They're just going to be legging it in, trying to find Jab here in the yard, and they will do so. He will just kill bind. Very smart maneuver from him to not be on a longer spawn wave, and they are managing to get the mid camp down now.
Yeah, very nice mid. This is exactly what you want of your Shrex Gods. You have such a big advantage to play for here. You can see how far forward they are already. And now Garbage, they have to be careful here. They have to sit back. They have a heavy up that he has to sit on high ground, but you can't lose any players right now. You have to play this so carefully. And there's a lot of damage on to TSD already, but the Uber charge is such a big advantage here. For Shrex Gods, they're going to want to take this Uber in pretty much right away if they want to stamp their names onto this round, onto this map. They have to start going.
They are going to get buffed up before they go. They do have time to do so. So they are going to do that. This looks like a right side push, and they lose Jenny immediately on this push here. Bombing in with the demo, they lose their demo as well. This needs to be an exit right now. This Uber is an absolute disaster. 1 soldier in the air. Havoc commits in for some reason and dies, so the medic goes down as well. Absolute disaster.
That was the ticket to the golden cap at least. It was looking so good for them. They had such a big advantage. Unfortunately, the push, it just didn't come out. The players, they just ended up getting taken down. Garbage Crew picked them off before anything could really happen. They're barreling in on second though. Maybe it was all the part of the plan because the Russians are just falling down. Jenny and Oko are taking down everyone. Wait, hold on. He has to look at the scout, but they get cap second. They have to be so careful, but the heavy's still on the high ground, holding him off on his own. Kraken, he is the heavy. He has the health with the Demo Man. He's missing his shots, but they get the cap behind!
Oh no, TSD found the kill onto the heavy, but it looks like he's going to be retreating back into second. He's too weak to fight here, gets just rocketed down there. Jenny is too weak to defend this as well, so he's going to be running back out of second and just retreating back here. It looks like the Russians are actually only just coming forward here, but Jenny's in on the med. Doesn't find the kill, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate, and that looks like such a desperation play. It's 2 minutes left for Shrex Gods, and then down a round. If they want to even bring this to a golden cap, they pretty much have to get this round down, and you can see Garbage Crew, they don't want any parts of it. They're up. They have a 50%, 60% advantage, and they're just going to play off of it. 2 minutes left, and it looks like they want to go off it. They don't want to sit back. Not running the clock down.
Okay, Bob was just spamming into Z and found that kill. He hit one rocket and then hit another rocket. It was a splash and then just spammed into Z and found a kill into the soldier. God.
I mean, honestly, if you're Shrex gods right now, you pretty much have to push with Uber Desad. You can see they're going into lunchbox right now. They're getting a lot of damage. It's like he has taken down already. Garbage Crew, they have to be careful here.
Okay.
Just gonna walk back 70% now on Havoc here.
Sack into last fast. Get players in. Just go kill the med. Do something. Donkey's in. Bosi is in. The heavy has respawned. They pop out the Uber. Looks like it's going to be a trade here. Chubase goes down. It's looking much better for the red team so far. As I say that, okay, they're all dying. Like, yes, with a massive air shot as well. Bosi going in, though. They do find the heavy eventually. It's good damage. Can they clean it up? It's the medic and the demo. Swords out, Havoc. It's time to DM, my guy.
He gets one. There's a statue.
He can get two. He's getting a statue on the point. Oh. He's a pussy. He's a pussy.
That's cheating. That's cheating. The stickies like that. Okay. Lucky, I don't want to be hype. I don't want to be the guy that's setting unrealistic expectations. But there's 40 seconds left. Honestly, if you're Shrex crew, Shrex gods rather, you can still go in. You can still get this. And Garbage Crew, you have to be careful. They're sitting on the point. They cannot let it out of their sight. That's a spy. Up for the red side. It all comes down to Oko. He has no
20 seconds! 20 seconds! Get in! Stab the heavy! He does it! He stabs the heavy! They're going
the
all
cap!
point.
The cap!
They're landing on it! Get on it!
Oh, they're on the cap! The scout! They do it!
It's 4-4! We're going to go to cap!
Oh my god. That spy was... I'm gonna be honest, that spy did not look like it was the move. Normally, you look at a spy play and you're like, this needs some time to set up, but they get the stab onto the heavy, which was honestly what was keeping Garbage Crew in all those holds. They really, on Shrex gods, they didn't have an answer to it, but they get the kill on the heavy and they just barrel in onto the point. And there we go, we're going to a golden cap. Shrex gods, they're not out of this quite yet. They could still get the golden cap. They could still bring this to a map 3. And if you're Garbage Crew now, you want to end it before it gets too bad. Losing a golden cap like this can really do a lot to the mental.
They are living rent-free in the Russians' heads right now. Aloe drops a lucky in chat. Oh, wow. Okay. The Russians are going to be in the bin mentally right now, I think. After losing that, they're going to be like, God damn it, guys! Why couldn't we hold that and just win the finals? And now they...
To a spy as well. The spy had 20 seconds to make a play, and he made it work.
I mean, usually you're going for the long con when you get a spy, and you're not going for that quick pick, but he makes it happen. He gets the right pick as well. I feel like killing the affected HP pool, the 450 HP heavy, just immediately is definitely the play that you should go for in that situation. There's no point going for the med, because he wouldn't get Zuper anyway.
Yeah, very, very big stuff out of Shrex gods. And now, honestly, going into this golden cap, I mean, still, golden caps most of the time kind of just come down to the mid fights. And honestly, still, from what we've seen from this game so far, I mean, do you not just favor Garbage Crew again? No,
I think Shrex gods here, they're going to be coming into this mid with a plan. They're going to have something in mind here for what they want to do. They're now in the driving seat. They probably one of them popped off in the comms like, we did it, guys, it's a golden cap, let's go, whoa, woo! One of them's going to be doing that right, and then they're going to be coming up with a mid plan. The Russians, they're dead silent right now. Dead silent. Not a word is, although I doubt they speak anyway, but there are no calls on the Russian team. They just a boom, and then they're in.
Yep. That's how it works. I mean, okay, so here's the thing, right? If you want to win in TF2, sometimes you have to be clutch. And some people are like that. They can deal with the pressure, and other players can't. And it's something that, honestly, most of the time is what ends up making the difference. We've seen it time and time again. TCM is a legendary team for the fact that they destroyed the Australians and completely mental boot them out of existence. That team didn't really play together again after they got kind of clapped by Sebasai and Jukebox. So, I mean, this is moments like this. It's what makes or breaks you. Honestly, I mean, again, if we're looking at low as a sort of a division where you're developing as a player before you go into the higher divs, winning a golden cap in a clutch situation like this in the grand final, it's gonna mean so much to you, just in terms of the confidence you have going into the future. Knowing you can win a round like this does so much to any golden cap in the future. If you can win in a pressured situation like this with, I don't know how many people are watching. I'm not really looking at the Twitch chat. I've learned that the hard way. But you know, I mean, there's a lot of eyes for a TF2 match on you right now, and if you can't handle the pressure now, it's gonna be hard.
Well, we'll see if they can pull out the bag here. I mean, if they... I guess the same goes to the Russians, is even if they do lose the golden cap here, then they will have another map between them, but I'm not sure how good their mental's going to be going into that last map, so we'll see what happens here. When so any who's going to die first on the mid? Golden cap? Who's dead first?
I think it's either going to be Light DS or TSD. There's no way that Light DS and his soldier partner in Shubei aren't just going to immediately bomb across pretty much at the start and middle onto the enemy team. It's what they've been doing the entire time, and it's honestly had a really good success rate so far. But, I mean, once again, Shrex crew right now, you just wait for those soldiers. It's all you have to do. You get the soldiers, that's the key. You kill the soldiers on mid, the aggression's shut down completely. Yes, there's still a demo man alive, but a demo man without soldiers isn't going to be able to do enough, and I think we've seen across the two maps, the scouts, Oko and Jenny, I feel like they're just outperforming Aloe and Kricken.
Yeah, I think so, but I think Kricken's going to die first. Honestly, on the mid. I don't know why, I've just got a feeling. I got a feeling he's just tilt. He's going to just fly in, overextend, die, and then that'll be it.
It is hard, right? Because let's say that the Russians lose this map and we go to a game 3. You don't. If you play TF2, we always play in sets of 2. There's very rarely do you get to play the same opponent 3 maps in a row. It's pretty much never. We only really play best of 3s in the playoffs. And if you play TF2 normally, you're only really in playoffs like 3 times a year, potentially, if you were even in playoffs 3 times a year, right? You don't have much best of 3 experience if you play TF2. You also scrims as well are also played in blocks of 2 games. That third map is honestly such a wild card for both the teams, and you have to value that mental factor so much. If Garbage Crew wins this, it's going to be very, very difficult for them. They need a mental reset coming into that final game. This pregame has been going on for a while. I think they probably are mental resetting, trying their best, calm their nerves. I hope they are.
They're going on gamer walks right now. They're going to walk around their houses. They're going to get a cup of tea. They're going to be walking around. They're going to be like, reset. Just
pet
reset.
the dog, pet the cat.
Yep.
Look that mother in their eyes.
If you've got a girlfriend, go see her for a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at her and be like, I'm losing in a video game. She's going to be like, oh, damn, that's tough.
Boobs are good for my health. Help.
Yep.
They are, actually. They reduce the heart rate of men.
Damn.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. They're great. You can go look it up. There's studies. They're fantastic.
It doesn't surprise me, I'm going to be honest. Okay, Lucky. Let's say that you have a gamer break. It's a golden cap time. You have like the 5-10 minute break. What do you do? Do you go glass of water?
I have been in this situation before in playoffs.
Ooh.
We were in playoffs. We were against Duplo. And we managed to only just bring it to a map 3. And we managed to get around in the last 0.2 seconds, I think it was, on process. And we went into a golden cap. The first thing that happened was I got out of my chair, I walked into my other room, I looked out the window for 5 seconds, I came back and I laid out the mid plan to my team, and then we went and won the golden cap.
Nice.
That's exactly what you do. You just walk out, come back, game plan. Here's what we're doing. Ready up.
Yes. This is taking a while. I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, I think one of the Russians is repairing his monitor, like punched it in half or something.
Guys, I need to go find a new one. There's a hole.
I need a new mouse. Just smash mine into oblivion.
Have you done that before? I have.
I've never actually broken a piece of gamer equipment out of rage.
Really?
No, never.
The keyboard I'm using right now, the Alt key is like, it's like there's a little bit of it left in like the very middle, which is fine. I use alt when I play MMOs like Final Fantasy 14, Free Trial up to Heaven's Ward is great. But it's enough where I can press alt, and then my spacebar on the right side is the stabilizer is just not there anymore, and also half of the spacebar is also not there. But it's fine because the left side is still there and it works and it's cool. It's an expensive keyboard. I want to throw it out.
Yeah, like whenever I think I'm gonna smash something, I'm like, oh, it's expensive though. If I break it, I'm gonna pay for a new one.
Have you ever gotten like a really shitty keyboard and just like taken a hammer to it? Like one of the really old like Logitech.
I have absolutely chunked my old keyboard against the wall outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually really fun.
Breaking keyboards is therapeutic.
Satisfying watching the keys fly everywhere.
You know what I found? I saw a video. There's like a place in, I think it's outside Berlin, where they set up like a fake room and they give you a hammer and a saw and an axe and
they just say go at it.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I assume it's like scrapped things like old CRT monitors and stuff, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of shit.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And you just like get to
some shelves from IKEA that no one's using anymore.
Like IKEA shelves, like old chairs from like somebody's grandpa's home.
Because like loads of uni students, they just go buy IKEA shit, and then they go to uni, and then they leave uni, and they have nowhere to put their IKEA stuff anymore.
Yep.
So they just throw it away. I feel like it's just going to be that.
I have all of my IKEA furniture is in the garage at the moment. Along with my shelves that are in the garage.
Oh, maybe you should go take a sledgehammer to those.
I think, but like the thing is, like I'm like okay, but now I don't have to buy 2 shelves because I like the way the shelves look. But you know,
like a nice shelf.
I have a dining table. I have a couple nice. They aren't nice chairs. They are chairs. They're from IKEA. IKEA not that comfortable.
I've bought IKEA chairs before, and they feel like driftwood, like they're so light. But we're going live, man.
We're going live. Golden Cap Map 2. Garbage Crew. They want to end it into, but unfortunately, Shrex gods have brought it to this Golden Cap. They were so close. Both these teams have been inches away from victory, and now we're rolling out onto the final mid-fight of Granary. Looking, we might have a new low champion in a couple minutes here.
Okay. I don't know if you just saw what I saw, but it looks like we've got another mid coming out. The Russians have switched up their game plan. Bomb comes in from Gracie, lands the high ground. Demo goes down here. Good picks. We find Cricket as well. Shubase is currently on the low ground here. Absolutely bodies the Demo, but he's cleaned up himself. And it looks like they did manage to find Jab in the backline. So the Russian medic already dead.
This is a disaster for Garbage Crew. This is exactly what you don't want, at least if it's a Golden Cap, especially like this. The last thing you want to happen is for Jab to go down, because it gives Havoc a full 100% Uber advantage. You can see now the Heavy's up on last. He has to do so much work to hold off Shrek's crew. They're getting the cap onto second now. They have a lot of time, actually, to set up this push, talk it out, as Jab only has 40%, but a kill to Lightyears before they even go in. This is huge.
Okay, this is massive now. This is what they need. Vosi's going to get an arrow as well. He's going to get healed up. They're going to start moving here. Let's see if they're doing... Looks like they're doing the lunchbox push. This is the push I would have suggested versus just a heavy. So they're going to be heading in on the pipe here. Looks like with their demo scout Uber, and they use through the door. They haven't dropped anyone just yet. So they're going to be heading in towards the heavy. The demo man on the high ground here gets bodied completely and goes down. And it's going to be the heavy down as well. That Sentry Gun cleaned up at the end. Just a soldier on the point here. And it's going to be Shrex Gods taking it away. We're going to a map 3.
That was so clinical out of Shrek's gods. They knew exactly what they do. They found the pick onto those, getting the kill into Lightyears, especially before the push even began. Such a big advantage for them. And there we go. They clean it up. And now, going to a map 3, and suddenly Garbage Crew comes. Gonna be a little quiet. It is Sunshine. And you know who won last time these two teams played against each other on Sunshine?
Which team was that, sir?
Garbage Crew took it away in 2-1. Was very close week 5. But look at these logs. It's so close. Like every stat. They had the same amount of kills. The same amount of Ubers. 1,000 damage separates them. on Granary. That was so close.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. I've got to say that I think we were right about the mental warfare. I think the garbage crew coming into that, they didn't really have a plan. They were just like, we're just going to go top and just see what happens. And they just kind of sat there and got bombed. The Shrex gods, they had a very clear plan. They were like, we're going to go left, we're going to high bomb onto them, we're going to do what we've done in the previous mids, what we're comfortable with, what's worked previously. And they did that, and they just won it out. They managed to find Jab right at the end. Great pick onto the medic, won them that golden cap. So, Shrex gods are feeling it now. They're going to be feeling it coming into this last map, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's such a big mental boost. For now, for the rest of time, they know themselves as players that want a 10th golden cap. And this is a start of something beautiful. Honestly, it has to be. Garbage Crew now, not only they won that map 1, they won product. It was pretty dominant, to be honest. Shrex gods, they had a little bit of response, but not that much. This time around, Granary again, they had that in the bag. Unfortunately, in the end, they just managed to sort of throw it away from themselves. And now, they have to be kicking themselves a little bit. Sunshine, they didn't need to play this map. We're here all the same.
I would say Jab is playing really well, though, all in all. He's been really good at surviving in a lot of situations, playing in the right place a lot of the time as well. He's taking the right Uber trades as well, whenever they come in, so I've got to give him props for how well he's playing, but it's hard to keep that consistency going when your demo man walks into a doorway every 3 seconds because he's bored of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, there are positives and negatives to having a demo man like that, because also sometimes he walks in and he kills everything. You're like, wow, I love this. This is great. The game's playing itself for me. Other times, he dies, and you have to play the game without a demo man. It's, the story of Yak's career. So, couldn't make it too long without flaming Yak again, unfortunately.
No, you need to get that one in. You had to get that one in.
Yeah, unfortunately. And it is how it is.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've done my fair share of flaming people, so I'm just kind of letting the dust settle before I start picking on new players. Choosing my enemies.
Yak is one of the first people to get TCM'd in like 5 years. That's breaking records. I'm sorry, this is really rude. Yak is a nice guy. When he's not playing TF2, Yak is a nice guy.
I like to see quick 5-0s as well. Like I like seeing some teams get absolutely chunked and bodied in some officials though every now and again. We haven't seen a lot of that for a little while, I feel like.
No, I think sometimes we get the 3, but the thing is, in Prem at least, we struggle with the fact that usually the teams that would just get 5-0'd repeatedly, they all kind of tend to die after a couple weeks, and we never get the fun 5-0s. So, it's very unfortunate.
What's the fastest 5-0 you've seen? If you can remember.
I don't know, but it's probably... wait, do lobbies count?
I think lobbies count, yeah.
Because I've definitely played like a 7-minute lobby before, or something like that. Like a very far. Like a 9-minute lobby.
We played in the last cup that happened. I can't remember what the name of the cup was. It was the DreamHack Cup. Yeah. And our first match was against a team of people who had never played an ETF2L season before. And as far as we were aware, hadn't really played comp whatsoever. And we managed to get a 4-minute process 5-0.
That is insane. Wow.
Yeah, we had Sticky Jumper demo with Pain Train. We had 2 soldiers with Rocket Jumper Pain Train, and we had Kurt's Krieg that we never got to use because we finished rounds too fast to use it. And then Scouts. And as soon as you get to mid, you start capping, and then you run your Scouts behind to cap second, then you cap last.
I think the
you don't even fight them, you just run past them.
I've ever been stumped was like a cup, like an Essentials Cup or something. It was like I played a Danish mix, which was like a mid team basically. I think Beta was there. We got to play one game. Unfortunately, we got placed in a group that meant that the only game we got to play was against Ascent.
Classic.
So we go in this mid team. We're like, okay, we're gonna spend our Saturday just play some games. It's gonna be fun. And then I spend 10 minutes getting rolled by Ascent. I hit a nice air shot on Condog. He messaged me afterwards, told me to delete the demo. I didn't. I posted it on YouTube. It was great.
We won the first mid fight, by the way.
Yeah, we won the first mid fight. All thanks to me, because I airshot Condog. It was great. And then I hit a headshot afterwards. Didn't do anything. We died. We lost. It was brutal. I got really mad because I thought I had the whole day to play, and instead I played 30 minutes. Not even 30 minutes.
Beautiful.
It was great.
Oh,
But anyway, I don't
Do you-
think this game will be a stump. I'm going to be honest.
No.
I think this is going to be close.
I wonder why they're taking so long to ready up. That's
Having
what's-
gamer talks.
That's what's stumping me right now. The
They're
Russians
doing
have now
another round
readied
of
up.
petting the dog, petting the cat, talking to their mum,
Looking at boobs. There
Yeah.
you go. We're ready.
opening up Google Images. Just type, bring out the old Casio calculator, typing
8008.
turning it upside down, being like, "Damn guys, you seen this? This is crazy."
We're at the peak of comedy, aren't we? Anyway, first
Yeah.
hit by Light the Assassin, super fast, going to be landing into Ward's Flowers. Doesn't actually find Demo there. A little bit slow on the roll off TSD, but that did work out in his favour here. Bosi actually dying in choke immediately at the start of the mid. I think he lagged or something, and looks like GBS going in on top of Havoc here. They do manage to kill him off, and that is going to be good picks here for the side of the Russians, who are just going to be sitting in a corner here. And Jam is the only man who needs to die here, but does manage to just survive.
Yeah, getting that kill on to the soldier pretty much immediately makes it so hard for Shrex clubs to really do anything. The cleanup as well was brilliant. So now, Garbage Crew, that's a very dominating middle. Sunshine is one of those maps where if you're pushing, even if you're pushing into last, the 100% advantage. Sometimes it just doesn't matter, and you just lose anyway. It's really hard to push. But I mean, once again, Garbage Crew doing an excellent job. They can push this in. They should be looking to do so. It is a sniper and an engineer up. Have to be careful there.
They get on the sniper, they do kill the sniper immediately, and the gun goes down as well. They managed to bust the rest of their team in as well on this flank, but they've only found one pick so far, and the Demo Man dies in response. They do find Jenny, which is a good pick to find, but Havoc has 71%. Soldier Bomb comes in on top of the point here, and Juvius goes down as well, but the rest of the players trying to go in. Aloe kills Havoc on the spawn door here, so Aloe picking up the frag, massive.
That's such a huge pick onto Havoc there. It means that suddenly their advantage when they spawn back up again is not that bad. Yes, they can probably get second here for Shrex gods, but they can't really get that much further forwards. As suddenly it's an even Ubers are in a situation where it would have been such a big advantage for them. But now, Garbage Crew, they're right back in this. They don't have to give up mid at all. They can just sit back, they can wait. Or, more likely, instead of waiting, they can sack in a few players. They can sack in maybe the whole team. Just push Flower, apparently.
Looks like Havoc's been building pretty well here. He's going to be building up that Uber. Let's see if we haven't got any no funny crit streaks coming out from either team. Really disappointing. It's not what you want to see in low div. In low div, you want to see crit streaks.
Yep, I agree, 100%. Crit Krieg is great. It's so much fun to watch. Especially, I feel like if you're a Russian demo man, if you're on a Russian team, if you get the crits, you need to kill people.
He's going to frag everyone at this point. I mean, he's been demolishing this entire game.
He has been going crazy. He's been
He's doing it. Game. He's doing the sack.
Oh, well, no. Never mind. Baiting.
I think he's trying to do it. He's doing the double sticky.
Have you,
the
seen
the
the Cadence
two
clip
sticky.
where he does it like 4 times?
Here he goes.
And then he kills him anyway?
Oh, he's laying a trap instead. Nope. Okay, he wants to do it.
He really wants it, but it's like, at this point, like, how much more telegraphed can you really get? It's so hard to really do anything here for either side. Getting into Sunshine second or Sunshine mid, scouts on high ground is hard. It's very difficult. It shouldn't happen, because it's a lot of ground to cover, and you're a soldier, and scouts shoot you, and you die.
Oh, he got a pause.
Okay, it's we're building up the tension here. We can maybe
I think it's gonna be Vosi.
Yeah, somebody lagged out and they ended up losing, and then they paused. 100%.
I think Vosi's gonna DC, and then that's gonna be where the pause is. He had issues on the first mid. Luckily, they didn't lose the round because of it. Jenny uncharacteristically sitting on 0 points after 5 minutes.
But again, it's like, how much can you realistically do as a scout? I mean, I guess you can like clean up people on mid, But, like, besides that, like, like, what are you gonna do? If the soldiers aren't feeding into you, just kind of sit there and farm 6 damage meat shots. It's hard.
Kricken currently up on the sniper. I don't know why this Russian team, they just don't want to send soldier sacks, ever. They're just very content to just get a sniper. Like, they didn't sack last map either, they just got a sniper, and it never worked.
But honestly, does soldier sacks work? I'm gonna be honest, like, especially on a map like Sunshine, the soldier sacks are so telegraphed. You have such a long time, and the way that the jumps end up working is that you're really high up in the air. So it just gives you so much airtime for scouts to just like pepper you out of the skies. It's so hard to like really do anything. You give medics such a long time to react as well. Get that really nice surf in. It's hard. It's a hard life forcing a medic on Sunshine second. So
I feel like if you do the fast roll, I mean, because you're coming in so high, the scouts aren't actually going to be doing that much damage to you. That's the caveat.
yes, but the medic can look at you and react accordingly.
Especially that's why as the soldier, you just don't hold your rocket and wait for them to press the spacebar.
Yes.
Then you kill them.
Especially if Havoc is standing where he's standing right now, just next to second, he can easily just walk into dungeon, and suddenly you get plenty of time for your scouts to shoot the soldier. He is in relative safety very, very quickly. I feel like there's just so many. It's difficult. I don't know. It's hard. And also, when you bomb in, you usually end up sending the medic into the air, and you have to hit the air shot. And hitting the air shot is really cool, but it's bad. It sucks. The worst part of Soldier is that going for air shots 99% of the time is because you made a mistake. And that's upsetting.
Okay, so Vosi apparently Algeria is having internet problems, and the team is getting the sub.
Uh-oh.
So he might be here for a bit, folks.
Let's hope it's a super sub. Last time, okay. So the other subs that I've seen the last couple of weeks have been Hugo and Captain.
I don't think we're going to see either of those.
I think Captain's going to come into this open game and really just clutch it up for us.
Oh, we have an unpause.
Oh.
The game is going.
Game is going, and it's broken because pauses exist, but it's okay. We can cast through
I think
this.
we're probably going to see another repause in a little bit, most likely.
They're running around, doesn't... I mean, surely they would have done it by now, right?
Okay, looks like both teams are posturing up here. They both have Faluba, so they're going to get those stickies in towards Flowers just to body off this sniper. He's going to be peeking this angle here. He has been already spotted, though.
So hard for him as well to get in, find that angle. Anytime he really wants to get in, get a shot onto the medic, he has to walk through the spam of like 2 soldiers, a demo man, and a scout as well. Very, very difficult stuff. You can see Vosi still doesn't have to really go in here, but there we go. I think this is where he started lagging out. He's trying so hard to play the game, but it's...
Yeah, he's choppy. So they're going to be bombing into the sniper. Good damage. They find the kill. Vosi on the low ground here does manage to jump out here, hits the wall unfortunately. Can he jump away? Not quite, he's going to die in the corner unfortunately.
But it's a good start. Getting the kill onto the sniper, it allows a little bit of space. You can see damage is definitely traded. But losing your demo man and choke Light Diaz is found too. Let's see Oko both going down, and suddenly it looked wide open for Garbage Crew. They're walking forwards, and Shrex guards, they want nothing to do with second anymore. Garbage Crew and choke. Huge.
Here's where they ask for the pause. They do get the pause there. And looks like we are going to have this last defense going on here. They pop out the Uber charge here. They're going to be making their way all the way across the point here. With that Uber, it looks like, on the red side. But they're not going to be able to do too much here. The blue team here playing pretty defensive as well. It looks like a little bit of cap time coming out here. Vosi is actually on demo. They've actually swapped TSD onto Soldier as well. A little bit strange here, swapping up your classes on this last. But looks like they are just continuing to hold.
I'm pretty sure the sub came in. I don't think it is Vosi. The sub came in as a demo, and they put TSD on Soldier instead. He's called OM. I think it might be the name config, unless it also says Vosi on your end, Lucky.
It says Vosi on my end. I've still got pause energy coming in, so I feel like the pause is messing with me.
Maybe. Probably a sub, but it's even Ubers, and it's a sniper up for both teams here, both Oko and Kricken, but looks like both have been sort of seen already, once you are spotted as a sniper, it's much harder to realistically do anything. It's a heavy up Jenny death as well. So Sniper's just gonna peek in, gonna try to find a headshot as the soldier's standing still. Chubei, such an easy kill, but you have to be careful here. It's like Diaz getting taken down as well. A lot of damage. Oko really bringing the heat here.
Okay, Oko, very nice shot there onto that demo man to clean him up. Looks like we've got Zemi.
Oh no!
Okay, having a strong by Cricken.
That's
Finally
huge.
hit a shot.
That's so big for Garbage Crew now. Suddenly, they have such a big advantage. They're just walking through Cafe. And now, for Shrex gods, they have to be careful. They have to be able to get in onto this force. You cannot let this medic have the Uber into last. But Jenny is struggling so much. And Jab is already on second here. And you have to be so careful now. What do you do if you're on the side of Shrex gods? This is looking so good for Garbage Crew.
So they are currently holding up on this left-hand side here. Just going to be trying to build up that overcharge, and the blue team are going to be coming in on the right-hand side. They haven't popped out just yet. They're going to be walking through the doorway here. It's already pretty good damage. They pop out the overcharge now. Allo with a 2-shot to Jenny there. They're going to be trying to get across the point as well. Stickies are on point. They do depth them onto the demo man, but they don't find the kill. Havoc goes down. They're going to be losing players here on the side of the Shrex squads here, trying to get towards the point. Unable to do so, and it's going to be the first round with the Russians taking that one away.
Yeah, there we go. That shot out of Cricken at the end to hit the medic. It was looking so bad for the Garbage Crew. Honestly, losing your demo man. Such a nice shot out of Oko, but then Cricken just does one better. Gets the enemy medic, drops the Uber, and it's such a clean round for them as well. Now, if you're Shrex gods, not only did you lose your medic to a drop from a sniper, but you also had to sub out your player, and now suddenly I feel like the mental... If there's ever a time for the Garbage Crew to pick right back up, it's right now, but they're starting off pretty bad. The demo's dead already.
Zemi is just in though. He is making so much work happen already in this game, but he's getting bombed by a bunch of players. Doesn't manage to survive. Really nice arrow from Havoc to keep him alive here. Bob Donkey currently in a corner, does need an arrow from his player, but Havoc's having to go back in the show here. Like yes, on the chase currently, actually finding a kill onto Havoc there with a nice rocket. And they're able to clean up in the backline though. Jab does go down as well, so both medics dying on this mid. Zemi's having to fight 1v1 versus the scout here. Does manage to find Cricken there, so find the kills.
I think importantly here, Havoc is spawning a little bit before, but he doesn't have players really with him. There we go. He's going to get about a 10% advantage. So again, he's not going to get an advantage. He's going to sit on second. Here we go. We're walking probably... I mean, I guess they have a scout kill here. Shrex gods, they could, in theory, push off this one scout kill. There's not really any blue players on second yet. There we go. They're finally there. Just going to set up even Ubers, basically, for both teams. Just sit right back up. But again, now, Garbage Crew, they can let this clock run down. They're up around. This is fine for them.
The Russians don't play like that.
No, they don't. They're going to go in anyway. But they could, in theory, stay back.
They don't know abstract concepts like time.
What is time?
They only know in. That's all they know.
Yes. It's my favorite key on my keyboard is the W key. It's a great key.
Over towards Cafe now. Oko's going to be leading that beam all the way through here. Looks like they want to take some kind of Uber trade here, and they do. They open out through the doorway onto the demo man. The blue team do pop in response, but they get juggled into the skybox. Held in the air for a little bit longer with a nice little sticky sing there. Havoc, though, surfing back out towards the choke. Lands on the high ground. Still alive, and escapes, and they win the fight!
A little bit of style points there for Shrex crew. That was massive. The demo did such a good job knocking them into the air. Man, Havoc again just does them one better. And now they're all the way on to last. They're spawn camping here. They have a scout camping. They're all on the point. And that is such a nice round for the Shrex squad. They played that brilliantly.
That was all Havoc, to be honest. He baited them all into such a bad position that they ended up losing that round. They all came so far forwards. The bombs came in from the soldiers. Absolutely amazing stuff there coming up from having beautiful, beautiful play. And now it's 1-1. Once again, the mental is back on for the Shrex gods. The sub looks like to be kicking in here, and they're going into another mid-fight here. Light Diaz going in nice and fast once again. Going to be taking the high ground this time around, taking the 1v1 versus TSD, but great damage onto Light Diaz. He needs an arrow at the start of this mid already. Does receive one, needs another one, to be honest, if he's going to stay alive for much longer. He does jump back all the way in through the choke. And back towards Flowers to get that health pack. So one player off the mid here. Bob Donkey goes in for a bomb. Actually finds Jab as well. Havoc hitting a nice arrow onto Bob Donkey to keep him alive as well. They're sacking for the med right now. Literally launching themselves
my God,
at this medic. And they're all dying. Havoc is managing to survive through all of this. Here's Chubei currently chasing. The sword is out from Zemi. He gets the kill as well. It's going to be a full wipe.
That was so nice once again. Shrex, they forced the enemy team, they forced the Garbage Crew into a corner here. And then Jab, he wasn't with his team, he got picked off very early on. And Havoc once again puts on a clinic, does not get taken down, everyone went for him. And he managed to kite it around. The Uber's already on to last hit. The Happy found the kill into the Heavy actually, there we go. Sentry Gun Heavy taken down here, they're on the point already. And it's a lot of damage, there we go, Soldier Bombs coming across. They're trying to get this TSD going down. They're finding the players. They haven't quite found the kills yet though. It's a bottle kill, but it's not enough. And there we go, Shrex gods. They're feeling themselves.
They really are. Jenny was boxing him in the corner there, and he was like, bam, 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 landing all his shots, and then he just like, screw this, whips out the bottle, smacks him in the face. It's really comical to watch. But they win out that round, a very clean Uber, like you said, putting on an absolute clinic in this game since receiving that sub. So we'll see what they've got coming to this next mid. Can the Russians make a comeback here with 1 round deficit?
It's getting to be tricky. They've lost 2 very dominant mids in a row. They've tried their hardest, and it hasn't worked out. Now, this time around, positioning not too good. Too early on, the Soldier Bomb's coming in, but he finds a scout. Alu taken down by 6 immediately, but it's a kill onto Jab here. Demo's dead as well. They find a single kill onto TSD, but it's just not enough for the Russian side. Only 1 soldier left. Chubei's trying to go for it. He's bombing in onto Havoc once again, but he just cannot find a single point of damage. It's a complete wipe. The Russians are crumbling here, and Shrex gods are playing this magnificently.
Wow, they are really flooding in through the chokes now. They have got this in the bag. It looks like they're going to get second, and they're going to cap it out. Full Uber for them currently. And the Centurion going up on the defense currently. The Heavy is already buffed up to 450 HP. They're just going for these tanky HP classes right now. The Demo overextended in the corner, gets cleaned up immediately here. No stickies on point. The Heavy's still large. The Centurion gets cleaned up as well. Chubei low on the point, trying to get back towards the spawn. The Heavy looks like he's still at large, still on 200 HP and surviving here, but is getting pinged out. So much spam coming in his direction. It's still really good for the red side, but the soldiers now coming in. The clean up there from Zemi as well, with the stickies on the edge of that point here. Like Diaz and Jab versus the world here. He is actually managing to point them as the respawn comes in from the Demo, who died really early on in this fight, and it looks like it is going to continue here. And now it's starting to look bad here, and Jenny on the point here, getting the clean up, gets the frag, and it's going to be 3-1 with that arrow kill at the end from Havoc.
And it's just superior positioning, and ultimately the player ad coming out of Shrex cards that lets them win that. The Demo Man on, I mean, Zemi, he got to sit on top of the high ground for so long, just spam down the point, gave his team so much room. Yes, it took them a while to win the round, but there wasn't really any doubt. They just didn't have the position on the side of Garbage Crew, and now they're down 2 rounds. Yes, there's still 16 minutes left, but they're definitely on the back foot. It's a very aggressive hit, and Pog Donkey immediately finds the Demo there.
Amazing pick there. Ala going down as well off of the spill-off damage there, but Havoc with a really nice surf onto Cafe. He's oh my god, Semi, put him in the dirt. Disgusting.
This is brilliant coming out of the... I mean, I don't know. Shrex gods, they're playing so much better. They've just cracked the code on these mids. The Russians, they have no response. Once again, it's a big advantage. This time not as big because Jab did manage to get out, but it's still 30% advantage. They can still push this if they're fast enough. It looks like they want to. They're going into lobby already. They have to be careful on the side of Garbage Crew. They're getting to 80%. They should probably be able to build, but look at this. Uber's coming in.
They're going in on top of this Demo once again, out of position. This Russian Demo cleaned up immediately here. They do get the Uber though. Jab built really well during all of that, as he did not die in the mid-fight. Now the retreat is coming out of the side of the Shrex gods. They do lose 3 here on this last push. Looks like the Russians are going to be able to fight back finally after being on a deficit here for what feels like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, there we go. They fought off. All they needed was that Uber charge. Yes, they got the force. They got the kills, but it wasn't quite enough. And now Garbage Crew found themselves a little bit of a lifeline. The round didn't immediately end in disaster, giving them time now to at least stay in the game. It's still even Ubers, pretty much. It's 10% advantage for the red side, which means it's even Ubers. Now Soldier Bomb's going to come in. They're going to try to find something, unfortunately, but it gives space.
This Demo, man!
Space for his Demo, but Kraken has gone down in the meantime. The flank is coming in, and Jab has gone down. Everyone is dying on the Russian side.
Oh my god, they're getting munged. Really awful coordination there. The Demo Man walks in ends up in flowers somehow, and they're unable to do anything here, but Jubei currently gets a respawner. It's going to be him versus a scout for the next 4 seconds. He needs to hold off for 2 seconds. Jubei holding it. He's standing on the point here, but the cat comes through. It's going to be a 4-1 to Shrex gods, and now the Russians, they need a solution and fast.
Yeah, they have to figure out something. A mid-fight now is, like, it's pretty much the only thing they can do. They have to win this mid-fight. They have to do it dominantly as well. 13.5 minutes for 3 rounds on Sunshine? You need that amount of time to realistically get it. And so, I mean, their mids have not been working. You can see now they're trying something else. They're going through Flower. It's a fast rollout out of Light DS as well, but he hasn't managed to convert this positioning into anything quite yet. Has to play around Cafe. It looks like they're just trading sides, but it's a kill onto Light DS pretty much immediately. This is hard for them already.
Looks like they're going to be skipping across here. Really nice from TSD into the corner. Great damage to Jab, but looks like they managed to respond this time around. Aloe gets in. He's going to kill off Zemi, and he's going to go for the chase onto the Medic of Havoc here. Havoc into lower. He is getting rapidly chased by 3 Russian players. Cuts up to the high ground here. Needs to get back in towards the spawn. Lands, doesn't land the arrow, unfortunately. Does manage to clean him up there. Aloe finds the frag.
Havoc going down so late is huge for Garbage Crew, because it means that their advantage, which already would have been big, has now ballooned even further. There was such a long time where Havoc was not healing and Jab was, but now it's gone even further. Now Jab has 100% advantage. Havoc just spawned and Jab has 100%. There's a sniper now, Oko. He has to hit a shot here to keep this lead from going. It's a nice start onto Light DS.
Spicy angle he's playing with there. He needs to be careful sitting in that top right area or he will get found, but he should be able to force off this Uber here. Aloe is going to be running at him. Gets the headshot onto the demo man. That is going to buy a lot of time for the side of the red team. They're going to be able to build that Uber charge even further here. Havoc's going to have around 80% before they come in.
Yeah, no, Demo Man means
they've actually left second.
Yeah, I mean, the push onto Sunshine Lost is so hard without a Demo Man. You need that Demo Man to go in with the spam, to kill the Sentry Gun, to kill the inevitable heavy that will come out as well. Without him, you just don't have enough damage. You have to wait for this Demo to come up, and now Havoc, he's 90-100%. The Russians, they can't realistically go for this anymore.
11 minutes on the clock, Juan. They can still do it. There's 3 rounds in the deficit here for the Russian side, so they need to come up with a solution here for how they're going to bust this hold. I mean, they've got plenty of time to play with still. It looks like they're going to be overextended again. This Demo going down. They're finding a pitch. Jab drops Uber. Unfortunately, Oko with the flank through lower. Aloe picks up those 2 kills that he needed to find there. Light Diaz currently on the low ground. That Sentry Gun is still at large. Jenny just sticking on Engineer very wisely here. I think they're more than happy to just wait for their respawners. They don't even need to push out if they don't want to.
I mean, no, they don't. It's 11 minutes. They have full Uber. They can take their time. Jab going down there is huge, and this is pretty much the opposite of what you want to happen if you are Garbage Crew. Now, your medic goes down. He drops as well. It was looking like it could have been, at least not a round win, but it could definitely been a lot more. All of a sudden, they're in such a bad position. The Uber's coming out now out of the red side, but they're not really finding anything. They find a kill into Light DS, but 1 soldier kill for an Uber. You happily take that as Garbage Crew. They have advantage now.
Yeah, I mean, Shrex God's here. I mean, that's the best you're going to get. It's really hard pushing out Sunshine Last, but when you have an Uber advantage that sizable, now you just got to try and roll the issue here. They do have the 1 pick, so they can afford to sacrifice a player here for an early force if they do choose to do so, but looks like they're just going to retreat back out of Flowers. They're going to start rebuilding that Uber charge back inside the shirt. They know they've got Dis out this time around, and they're going to just play it safe and just play for the clock.
Indeed, they're going to have to play for it. But, I mean, it's scary, right? But they have a sniper. Look at this. Kraken, he's on the sniper. It's so difficult.
Oh,
CSD. But the Demo's dead. The Demo's dead.
He died again. He overextends through the choke without the beam on him, and he goes down. But Kraken, like you mentioned, up on the sniper is going to be really bad for them here. They're trying to aggress here. Like Diaz actually onto Last here. Going to be bombing around the point, just escape back out Last. A good opportunity that nearly got taken, but it looks like Havoc has his Uber now. The respawners come in as well, so they're going to start aggressing here. Oko's already taken the high ground, gets actually headshot there, and then hit with a rocket, so it looks like they are just going to call off this push, go back to a defense.
I mean, again, they could just sit on this defense. They're 3 rounds up. It's 9.5 minutes. They have so much time. But it gives Kraken now, because of that scout kill, he can get a little bit more cheeky in on that flank. He gets a lot of damage onto Bob Donkey. He gets the kill into TSD, and suddenly this opens up so many doors for them. He can get very aggressive. You have to be careful now. Oko's gone down!
sniper getting counter-fragged there, and it looks like they are just going to have to take an early trade here for fear of getting headshot. They pop out their super, but there's no response from the blue team. They still have not used. They only just used now, and it's looking really bad now for the side of the Shrex squad. They need to regroup here. They do find Base, but Bomb Donkey goes down. They lose their medic as well. Looks like they're on the point here. Zemi gets loads of damage in. The respawner comes in from Oko. They're finding the picks here. It's just Allo versus the world. He is currently on the beam, but goes down. Unfortunately, it's going to be Jab dying as well, and it's a wipe for the Russians.
That was so close for the Russians to come in, but unfortunately for them, the spawners come in clutch. There was a lot of damage done by that demo man, but it just didn't quite hit the mark. Not enough kills were found. Shrex gods, they honestly has to feel like they dodged a little bit of a bullet there. Cricket went huge on the sniper. He's back on it. He knows that is the way to victory. At least it seems so right now. It seems to be the only answer they realistically have. Chubei gets taken down. It's getting scary and scary here for Garbage Crew. Time is ticking. 8 minutes now.
They're in another situation where they're at a disadvantage and they have a sniper. And Cricken is just, he looks like he just wants to stick on this sniper, and there's not a lot that they can do about it. There's going to be no spawn for him to run back to, for him to swap off either, so they're more than happy to play the slow, long game, but the more that they play that slow, long game, the more likely it is they're going to lose.
It is very scary, yeah. I mean, once again, play down the clock. It's a soldier bomb coming in. He's got the money gun around. He gets the kill to have it. He found the spoon.
That's what I mean. They should have been doing that all along. Why they were playing with a sniper, I don't know. But looks like TSD now going in for the bomb. Does find the force on the jab. And that is what you need here. They've got 13 seconds on respawners here. 3 for the medic. The 2 remaining players are in behind. This looks like a Russian round. Havoc has respawned up on medic. Has gone pyro.
He's just standing there.
Havoc on the pyro. Can he get the kill?
Now. He gets blocked off, but he's head
on the point.
The medic.
He doesn't stand on the point for long enough. It's 2-4 as a round now. We've got 6 minutes remaining on the clock here. They need 2 rounds for the Russians to get back into this game, to go to a golden cap if they want to. 3 rounds to win it out. The winner of this will be our low grand final champions. Still all to play for here, Juan.
Yeah, the Russians were looking down and out in the beginning, but it looks like they're slowly managing to come back into this. Shrex gods, unfortunately, they've kind of been losing recently. This time around on the mid-fight, it's decent damage coming out of the Russian demo man here. Going to try to get forwards. There we go. Cafe side traded as per usual. Spam as well, kind of waiting for either team to address. There we go. Soldier bomb coming in out of Light DS, but the bombs are traded on. They're straight onto Jab, and Jab is just taken down. But in the meantime, so is Havoc. But it's Hello Chubei and the demo just get taken down. A single scout. The health on the red side is absolutely awful, but it doesn't really matter because they're all alive. And Cricken, yes, they all have 1 HP, but there's 5 people with 1 HP.
Yeah, they managed to clean him up there. Jab has spawned with no one. Havoc has also spawned with no one, so these Ubers are going to be even. But the space is already being taken by the Shrex gods. They have already cleaned up onto second here. They're going to be sticking off bats, and they want this capture to come through. The Russian demo going to be walking out to bats. The det is there! He's not watching his stickies. He could have found the demo there. Very close.
Ooh. If the demo had gone down there, that would have been, honestly, it feels like a ticket to another round, which would have just, honestly, at this point, been the game ender. That's not enough time to get 3 rounds. It is, but just barely. TSD taken down. There is a sniper Cricken. He's saved the game before numerous times. Gonna have to do it again here on the sniper.
Looks like Allo has actually walked in onto bats, trying to clear up the sticky bombs. Allo is now just fully committed in, and he's out through lower. Incredible stuff from him. He's super weak in lower, but he does manage to escape nonetheless.
Cricket almost gets that shot on
Allo again is back in.
Oh, Oko's dead.
Havoc actually uses his Uber charge as well, but looks like Jab drops Uber. TSD in from the side. Jenny is already on last. He does not care about anything that is happening. And they're bombing in towards this point. They're super weak here, but Bob is going to be there with the cleanup. And it's going to be 5-2 as the scoreline with 4 minutes remaining.
It's still technically possible for the Russians to come back here. You have to be careful now, but 4.5. They have to get around. They have to get around. They have to get around. It has to be so quick. And if you are the Shrex gods, all you have to do is keep them off at least once. Make 1 round take 2 minutes, and it gets so much harder for the Garbage Crew. Just draw out a little bit each round is all you realistically need. You just have to lose gracefully. Don't even have to lose a lot. Chubei going down is a really nice start. The aggression comes out with the Shrex gods, but it's so much damage. They find the demo man kill as well, and it looks like it's gone from bad to worst here. for the Garbage Clan. Light Diaz ends up taking his own life here. And a nice rocket by Bob Donkey.
Oh, looks like TSD in with a bomb here onto Jab. Looks like Havoc's going in. He wants a piece of me, and he finds it there. Jab going down as well. And now they have 92% here on their medic. Already going to be building up the overcharge heading towards last. 3 minutes remaining on the clock. With one clean last push, it will secure the game for them here. Looks like they're going to be building on second currently. They have managed to cap out that point as well. And the rest of the players are needing to respawn here. But they shouldn't rush this. They have time to play with here. They have time to buff up their players, get ready for this last push. This heavy is at large, 450 HP on the board.
They have to be so careful here. There's a lot of damage to them before the push even begins. The Scout Uber's coming out.
Onto Tube, gets that kill off immediately, and the sentry gun taken out as well. Light Diaz gets piped in the air, goes down on the point as well. Aloe looks like he needs to retreat back into the respawn. He's going to swap off his class. The heavies are large. It's going to be 6-2, and that is going to be GG. The Russians cannot do it, and the Shrex gods are going to be your Season 39 low grand final winners.
They stuck through so much as well. They were down and out multiple times in this series. They lost product pretty decisively. They managed to come back in that golden cap. That spy play out of Vosi saved them the series, honestly. They would have lost if they didn't kill that heavy. He ends up timing out. They bring in the sub, and honestly, even despite all of that, they managed to bring it back anyway. Very impressive stuff out of all of them. Jenny playing really well. Oko as well in the sniper. Very big. Bob Donkey hitting nice shots. And Havoc had such nice subs as well.
Each member of the team had their own highlight in this. Light DS has now called GG. Jab is going to get cleaned up right at the end here. Can they make it a 7-2 just to mop this up? Nope. They have gone for a killing the server is what they've gone for.
Yep. It's the classic. It's like, oh, we lost.
The classic low, yeah. It's yeah, Jenny's already put it in chat. It's all ogre now.
Yep. Yeah, it's expected. Congratulations to the Shrex gods, and congratulations to Garbage Crew as well. Coming second in low, no mean feat. They played really well for a lot of this. They had chances, unfortunately, in the end. Crucial moments, they ended up faltering, but they were so close on multiple occasions. Bright futures ahead for multiple members of that team as well.
Great stuff coming out from the Shrex gods. I mean, cannot fault them. The victory was pretty hard earned. They pulled it out of the bag. Tough beginning on product, being a 3-1 to the side of Garbage Crew, coming into Granary, getting that golden cap with very minimal time on the clock, and then just absolutely annihilating them on Sunshine. I mean, that is where you show it was definitely the mental warfare at the end of the day. I think it came down to the Garbage Crew looked like they were in a hole. Aloe was basically the only person on the team that did anything, and it shows it on the logs as well in this final game.
Yeah, unfortunately, they just weren't able to find their groove, really. They had a little bit of a moment where they did, but then, unfortunately, they got that kill onto the medic. They found a couple rounds, but then it just wasn't enough. I mean, Aloe as well, he played brilliantly, obviously, but I mean, fortunately, a couple of the other members, they were playing so well for most of the series. Light Diaz, especially on product, was having an absolute blast, as well as the demo with a really long name in Russian that I can't pronounce. Unfortunate. I've just been calling him the blue demo man, the Russian demo man the entire time. So
Russian demo who took 8.7k damage.
Yep. He did a lot of damage. He played very aggressively. He was good.
He ate a lot of damages.
Yep.
He was always in their face, being aggressive. He did overextend quite a lot. I feel like I mentioned before, he was just getting frustrated. I feel like, and that's why he had a hard time in this last map. But nevertheless, I've got not a lot else to say. You got anything else you want to close up with?
Probably stay on TFTV tomorrow. We have more games. I think Epoli's casting. That's what I found out.
Woo!
Prem lower bracket final. Got Frenchies versus For Toast. Is their name?
That'd be a game.
Scary, but shout outs to the low teams. Always fun to take a peek at the lower divs. I was surprised. I thought the gameplay quality would be a lot worse. I'm gonna be honest. But it was fine. It was good. It was a great watch. I enjoyed it. Shout outs to all the players. I love TF2. Play Final Fantasy 14. It's great.
Peter, have you got any shout outs you want to throw out there? See you
No.
lot.
Nah.
No.
Just have a good night.
Yeah. Shout out to you, chat. Shout out to the teams for a wonderful game. Peace.